have to be less than us, or we wouldn't be having a home game. So that's all I'm.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Delbert Lloyd Hansen Stadium for tonight's game featuring the Tigers from Hurricane High School and your hometown Skyview Bobcats. Tonight, fans, since we had Lightning a couple weeks ago, we are going to have senior night and honor our seniors. First, number 60, Blake Bishop. Escorted by parents Scott and Jody Bishop.
Why aren't you taking a picture? Should have hit me.
Next, number 79, Daxon DeHeck. With parents Steve and Tiffany DeHeck. Following number 22, Carson Dunkley, with parents Ryan and Heidi Dunkley.
Looks like he's. Yeah.
That's why we texted him.
Next up, number 40, Kason Erickson, with parents Casey and Kylie Erickson. Next we have number 75, Dylan Evans, with parents John and Dina Lee Evans. And now number 9, Jackson Foster, with parents Bill and Kara Foster.
Taking them right into the sun. Thought if they have good cameras, it might not matter.
Next, we have number 3, Davis Hall, with parents Jake and Tracy Hall.
Good afternoon and welcome to a beautiful day in Smithfield. Perfect weather here in Smithfield for first round 4A football action. John Newbold and Rex Davis with you today. And Rex, the kind of game or the weather that we've had the last few games, this is just a gorgeous afternoon for playoff football.
Yeah, this is as good as it gets, John. We were talking with some fans before the game and everybody just kept saying, man, this is a lot better than what we've been having. So definitely going to be a great evening for football.
Well, the Skyview Bobcats, the number 5 seed in the RPI rankings, will be facing the number 12 seed, the Hurricane Tigers. The Tigers are 2-8 on the season. The Bobcats 6-4 to end the regular season. And because of the lightning delay we had on the last home game for the Skyview Bobcats against Green Canyon, they're actually honoring the seniors today for this playoff game as instead of a senior night, a senior day, if you will, and they're out on the field honoring those seniors. And it's nice to see because I know that that had to be a letdown for those seniors to not have that opportunity to do senior night because of the lightning delay.
Yeah, we had the camera all ready to go for senior night that night. We were going to try to showcase every single one of these kids. They've been a part of a lot of winning tradition here at Skyview. And we just weren't able to do it with that lightning delay. They had to scrap the whole thing. So now we are getting a chance to showcase some of these kids. You can see them out there at midfield if you're watching on CacheValleyDaily.com as Kimball Jackson goes out there, without a question, the defensive leader for the Bobcats.
And, of course, this video experience is powered by Adams Wealth Advisors. If you're watching on CacheValleyDaily.com, Adams Wealth Advisors wants to understand your family, job, hobbies, and goals to earn your long-term financial trust. It's Adams Wealth Advisors bringing you this video experience. So, again, thanks for listening here on 106.9 FM, 1390 AM, The Fan. Want to thank Dallin back in studio keeping us on the air, and of course the video stream on CacheValleyDaily.com. But this Hurricane team, although they're 2-8, they've struggled. Their program hasn't had a lot of continuity the last few years with coaching changes and stuff. But when we were looking at the roster, Rex, and some of their key players, this is a really young Hurricane team that's got some potential for the rest of the years to come.
Yeah, they're really showcasing, as far as what we could see in pregame and what we've seen a little bit on film, a lot of sophomores. And they do have their starting quarterback returning tonight, and that's Carter Ashby. And Carter Ashby has kind of been the guy. If you're watching him out there, he scrambles around a lot and is able to make a lot of plays out there for the Tigers.
So it should be a good game. Carter Ashby, one of the things about him, he's listed at 5'6", 160. He's small, but from what we understand, he's really shifty, very fast, and can create some problems for the Skyview defense.
Yeah, we were watching him pregame too, John, and he was throwing the deep ball a lot, getting the arm warmed up, and he had a lot of really good touch on the deep ball. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see Hurricane take some shots tonight.
So looking at some of the stats, 39th playoff appearance for Hurricane in the history of their school. It's the 30th for Skyview. And that ranks, for Skyview, it ranks 56th all-time for that 30th playoff appearance. For Hurricane, it's a tie for 38th all-time in the state of Utah amongst the schools, that 39th playoff appearance. But Hurricane, the Cache Valley hasn't been kind to the Hurricane Tigers the last couple of years in the playoffs. The last two trips to Cache Valley, they've had two losses. Back in 2019, they lost at Ridgeline 48-13, and then last year at Logan, they lost 43-22. So they're looking to reverse that as they come up here to Smithfield, the furthest school north in the state of Utah.
Yeah, and like you're saying, John, to your point, I mean, Hurricane just can't stop anybody this year either, right? They're allowing 41.7 points per game, only scoring 17 per game. I do think we are going to see some flashes, though, getting their starting quarterback back. I do think that's definitely going to help the Hurricane Tigers.
Yeah, their quarterback, we've already mentioned, Ashby. He's a junior, listed at 5'6", but he actually got injured, from what we understand, in the Desert Hills games towards the end of the season. So replacing him was Jace Meacham, a junior wide receiver and quarterback as well, and he had been playing the last few games for him, but we did see Ashby out there warming up, so we assume he will start. But we're going to learn more about this Hurricane team. We're going to talk to Coach Hal, and I talked to him pregame, so we're going to go ahead and take a 30-second break, and when we come back, we'll hear from Coach Hal and his thoughts on the playoffs and the pregame interview that we had with him. That's all coming up next here on The Fan.
If you're in the market for exterior building supplies, you should always go with a company you trust. Coldwater Stone in Tremonton, a division of Castellite in Logan, is a company you can trust. Coldwater Stone specializes in cutting and shaping beautiful natural stone into thin veneers that can be used on wall surfaces, walkways, and more. Coldwater Stone in Tremonton has quickly become the industry leader for natural stone products. Stop into the Tremonton facility or see samples at Castellite in Logan. More information at www.coldwaterstone.com.
Coldwater Stone, a natural choice for all your stone needs.
Here pregame with Coach Howell. And Coach, you came off of a loss with Bountiful, but we're into the playoffs now, and it's an exciting time of year. It's crazy to think the regular season's already over, but with the playoffs and an afternoon game here in Smithfield, do you guys change your preparation at all for the playoffs, or do you guys just do the same routine that you have been all season?
Yeah, for the most part, we keep the same routine. We don't have to worry about JV and freshman games this week, and so our focus is definitely 100% to our varsity guys in preparation for them. We keep all of our younger kids out and basically create 2 teams, scrimmage-type teams, and they've been scrimmaging all week, so they're getting extra football as well. But really, everything that we've done up until this point is really to prepare for the playoffs. Our preseason, our non-conference games, our region season, all that is about this moment right now, being prepared for this. And we feel like we've been battle tested. We've won some, we've lost some. Our kids have played a really, really tough schedule. I would put our schedule up with anybody else's in the state, and hopefully that will help pay off for us here in the next little bit.
Well, Coach, you face a Hurricane team that hasn't had the same success as you guys have in the last few years, their program, but they've got athletes all over. And one of those athletes, number 5, KJ Wright, I think is his name, or RJ Wright, but number 5, he does everything for him. He's kicking, he's receiving, we've seen him rush. He's a do-it-all for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. He's a guy that we paid close attention to this week. He's a guy that we want to know where he is on every single snap. He's definitely a challenge. He's big, he's tall, really long, and so we'll have our hands full with him, but hopefully we've prepared enough to be able to limit his plays.
Other than him, what else stuck out on film with this Hurricane team?
That's a really good question. I feel like this is a team that has some playmakers. They do some good things. Every game they've started out with a really good drive, and they march the ball right down the field, either stall and score in some cases, and then for whatever reason, teams get ahead on them and things go the wrong way. But I think they're pretty big up front. I think they have some good-looking guys. Like I said, I really like their receiver, their quarterback. I just noticed that their starting quarterback has been playing all year and then got hurt, is back and dressed, and so if he plays quarterback today, he brings a whole different kind of piece of preparation because he's kind of a scrambler and athlete, and so they're a good football team, and we'll have to play well today.
Well, Coach, that's the last thing I wanted to ask you is the keys to the game. What are you looking at as a coaching staff to get the victory and have play one more game here in the playoffs?
So I think one of the big things is for us to start fast. One of the things that I feel like has been not necessarily our nemesis, but our inconsistency a little bit, and it seems like we play a lot better when we're ahead, and lots of teams do, so that's an easy thing to say. But I think if we start fast and get some confidence going, I think that will help us a lot. And then the other thing is we've kind of preached playing very physical, playing angry, really team tackling, getting after people, and so hopefully we play a swarming style of defense today.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time. We'll talk to you after the game.
Okay, thanks.
Again, that was Coach Howell pregame. We talked to him, and Rex, as he mentioned, that it could be an interesting game. You can't, and besides, it's the playoffs. You throw out the records. All the records did is decided where you would be seated RPI-wise, and unfortunately for 4A, there's going to be a lot of matchups that have the same kind of region versus region possibilities because there's only 2 regions in 4A.
Yeah, a lot of travel either way. Some of the Valley teams have to go clear down south. Some of the down south teams have to come up here as we have Hurricane visiting Skyview. But it's kind of a tough thing where it's for the near future at least looks like it's going to be north versus south, and that's just how it's going to be.
Yeah, the next couple years until they do the realignment, the UHSAA revisits that every couple of years, and I think they'll revisit it in the spring this year for the upcoming seasons. 4A will stay the same, 13 teams, 2 regions, Region 10 and Region 11 next year as well. But some streaks coming into this game. Skyview is 12-1 in their last 13 home playoff games, and they've won 15 straight home games, and they're 25-2 in their last 27 home games. So they're 12-1. That last home game that they lost was at Park City a few years ago. But Skyview is really strong at home. And for Hurricane, they've lost their last 22 straight road games. They're 0-4 this season in road games, and their last road playoff win was back in 2014 at Juan Diego High School. That's a tough place to play, so that's an impressive win back then for Hurricane as they won 32-15, but that's their last road win.
2017, you
14.
said? 14.
Yes.
Wow.
So it's been a while. They've lost their last 22 road games, but we're getting closer to kickoff in the 4A first round as the Hurricane Tigers visit Smithfield against the Skyview Bobcats. We're going to step aside and take a break, and when we come back, we'll have more on this pregame as the Skyview Bobcats and the Hurricane Tigers tangle here in Smithfield for the first round of the 4A state playoffs.
McDonald's are proud to support local high school athletics and wish all the local teams the best of luck this season. Your local McDonald's is hiring. Work for McDonald's and let McDonald's work for you. Enjoy flexible hours, tuition reimbursement for continuing education, plus meals and other perks. Management positions are available. Apply at careers.mcdonalds.com today. That's careers.mcdonalds.com. Or apply in person. McDonald's and its franchisees are equal opportunity employers committed to a diverse and inclusive workforce.
It's back to school time. You're getting the clothes and the supplies, but don't forget the haircut. The students at New Horizons Beauty College are trained in all the latest trends and techniques. Plus, New Horizons has great prices on the products to help you maintain that new look, like Redken, Matrix, Biolage, and Bricado. All services performed by students and closely supervised by licensed instructors. Oh, hey, they're also enrolling for fall classes right now. Create your own individuality at New Horizons Beauty College in Logan.
First round of the 4A state playoffs today in Smithfield. The Skyview Bobcats, the 5 seed, versus the 12 seed, the Hurricane Tigers. John Newbold, Rex Davis here with you. Dallin back in studio. We appreciate him keeping us on the air. And now it's time for our uniform check, brought to you by the Logo Shop. When it's time to make your team look good, call the Logo Shop. Whether your team is on the field or in the workplace, it's the Logo Shop. And also, if you're going up to the Aggie game tonight versus Colorado State, the homecoming game for the Aggies, a great place to stop is the 2 locations of the Logo Shop to get all your Aggie gear for that homecoming matchup. But the uniform check here today, the Skyview Bobcats in their home blue uniforms, the baby blues, with white numerals and the black matte helmet with the blue Bobcat on the side. And for the Hurricane Tigers, they're in all white with black numerals and black helmets. That's your Logo Shop uniform check. So the Skyview cheerleaders just got done with their routine here on senior night or senior day, but we're going to check other scores too around the playoffs today. Hopefully we'll get scores. Logan is hosting Cedar in a 10-7 matchup, and Bear River and Dixie are down at Dixie, and that game, the winner of that game will play the winner of this game, so we'll keep an eye on that game as well. We're going to step aside as we get closer to kickoff. That's all coming up. Thanks for listening to Bobcat Football on the Fan.
Guild Mortgage Team will help you find the loan to fit your life. Guild Mortgage offers hundreds of loan products for a wide variety of borrowers, including first-time home buyers, military families, and rural residents. Guild Mortgage also offers many state, county, and city housing programs that provide down payment assistance. At Guild, they work hard to deliver what matters most to you with a loan that fits your life. Call 435-294-2480 or Google Karen at Guild Mortgage. NMLS 3274 and 80226, Equal Housing Lender.
Thank you for voting Adams Wealth Advisors the gold winner for Best Financial Planner in the Best of Northern Utah competition. Understanding your family, jobs, and goals is how Adams Wealth Advisors will continue to earn your trust.
This is Craig Adams. At Adams Wealth Advisors, we are here to help you receive peace of mind whether you've done a lot of planning or a little planning. Count on our team at Adams Wealth Advisors for honesty, professionalism, and integrity.
Visit adamswealthadvisors.com or call 752-1702 to schedule a time with an advisor today. Please see adamswealthadvisors.com for more information on these recent awards.
What's important to you is important to us. We love what we do and it shows every time. Great bass and graphics. We made you look, made you look.
Reactions or yells directed at a player, coach.
Welcome back to Smithfield. It is the site for the first round of the 4A boys football state playoffs. And I shouldn't say boys. There could be some girls out there.
There could be.
Wasn't trying to suggest otherwise, but should be a great atmosphere. It's a gorgeous day here in Smithfield, mid-60s for kickoff here. And, hey, we'll take it up here in the Cache Valley as the Skyview Bobcats and the Hurricane Tigers are getting ready to tangle as they just had the national anthem, and we're getting ready for the coin flip with the captains meeting at midfield.
Yeah, Battle of the Cats today, John. Tigers versus Bobcats. Real quick, let's recognize our captains for the Bobcats. That's number 8, Kimball Jackson, number 3, Davis Hall, number 19, Garrett Zollinger, and number 4, Truman Moser out there representing the Bobcats.
Hurricane is still out there just kind of huddling up, and now
they had to wait on the cheerleaders and
yep. So
they so
they
it's
did
only
their
fair.
Yeah, they did their pregame stuff. So again, this broadcast is brought to you by Les Olson Company. Did you know Les Olson Company offers free IT security awareness training? Stop threats before they become a problem. Get your free network assessment at lesolson.com. They bring you high school playoffs here on The Fan. Also, again, your video experience powered by Adams Wealth Advisors, streaming on CacheValleyDaily.com. So we're getting ready for the coin toss. Desert Hills is the number 1 seed in the 4A tournament. Ridgeline number 2 and Green Canyon number 3. They all have byes this week.
Look at the height difference in the quarterbacks between Garrett Zollinger and Carter Ashby out there. I mean, that's a foot.
Yeah, I can't even see Carter Ashby, to be honest.
He's behind Kimball Jackson. That's why you can't see him.
I know. So he's talking to the official right now, and again, listed at 5'6". They just flipped the coin, and it hits the turf, and the official looks towards Skyview. So I believe Skyview has won the toss. They defer for the second half. So Skyview will be kicking off to Hurricane. We'll just have to wait to see what side. And so it looks like they'll be kicking to the north.
Yeah, they asked Skyview which way they wanted to kick, and Kimball turned his head, Davis turned his head, and then Zollinger pointed which direction. So they're letting the quarterback pick there.
All right, so Hurricane will start with the football as we await the kickoff. And we haven't really mentioned it, but the thing that I think is great, Rex, is, you know, we've followed Kason Erickson, the kicker for Skyview, his career. Yeah. He's third all-time in PATs in the state of Utah. He's in the top 25. I can't remember the exact number on field goals in his career. But the cool thing is when he warms up to kick at the half and before the game, his dad, Casey, always is down there helping, and his sister, Caitlin. And it's just a family affair, and his older brother, I believe, if I remember his name, Kyler, I think was his name, is helping out as well. And it's just a family affair for the Ericksons, and it's just awesome to see the success that they've had. So just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, I mean, the Erickson family's been a big part of our broadcast too. I mean, we've got to watch this kid. He's been a varsity starter since his freshman season. I believe he's a 4-year varsity starter now for the Bobcats. So yeah, it's been cool to watch this kid grow and you know, be that special teams captain that he is for the Bobcats.
So back deep to receive is Hunter Prince of Hurricane and also Levi Grondel, I believe, is who's back there.
You got good eyes, John. I'm looking through the binos trying to figure out who that is.
Well, it's because it's during the day. I'll mess up. I'll mess up more than once. But we're about underway as the Bobcats will be going right to left on your radio dial if you're watching that video experience powered by Adams Wealth Advisors on CacheValleyDaily.com. Erickson will be kicking to the south, and there's the whistle for the start of play as Erickson is kicking it. It's a low line drive for him. It usually has a lot more height, but it's 8 yards into the back of the end zone for a touchback. Such a weapon to have, a kicker that can kick it into the end zone like that all the time.
Absolutely, and we mention it almost every game, John, but typically on a kick return team, your most electric athletes are your kick returners, and if you can take the ball out of their possession like Erickson does almost 90 95% of the time, I would assume. That's a great weapon to have if you're the Bobcats.
Well, we're looking at a wide receiver, R.J. Wright, the junior, for the Hurricane Tigers. Rex, how tall do you think he is? He's a big, tall receiver.
I would say 6'4", 6'5".
Big, tall receiver.
Yeah, he looks good out there. Watching him in pregame, there's definitely a connection between R.J. Wright and quarterback Carter Ashby.
Yeah, and Carter Ashby, who has returned, he's wearing a brace on his right knee, but he's under center to start things off. Couple of backs in the backfield. He takes the snap. He's going to hand it off on the right side, and Reed Wild and a whole host of Bobcats there to make the stop.
Yeah, Dunkley, Moser, Reed Wild, you name a linebacker, insert linebacker name here, they made the tackle.
Well, a good push by Hurricane, though. They got 1 yard, Rex, and that was a problem in the Bountiful game against the Bobcats. They couldn't stop the run of the Redhawks as they just got such a good push up front, but Bountiful a lot bigger than this Hurricane offensive line, but, I mean, Hurricane's line is pretty big.
Yeah. I think that's where most of their size actually is in that O-line.
So Ashby again under center, 2nd down and 9 from their own 21, opening drive of this playoff game. Hand off, no, he fakes it. Ashby's going to throw. He's looking for Wright out there, and it is incomplete. A lot of contact out there at midfield.
Yeah, I was looking for a flag.
I thought there was going to be one. Wright did have a yard on the defender of the Bobcats, but they just call it incomplete. No flags out there. I guess you could say that's playoff football.
Yeah, and I mean, Davis Hall was there, but I feel like Davis was beat by a step, maybe a half step. And we definitely did see a little contact out there, but no flag. And if you're a Bobcat fan, you're okay with that.
Oh, definitely. Again, 3rd and 9 now. First round of the 4A state playoffs. Ashby drops back into shotgun. A couple receivers out to the left side to the east. Ashby takes the snap. He's back to pass. Kimball Jackson in there for the sack. And they throw the flag. Jackson hit him up high, and here's the problem.
His arm and
he hit him in the helmet.
Yeah.
But when
Ashby,
you're 5'6", that's the problem. Kimball can't even get down that small or low to hit him.
Ashby goes to just below Kimball Jackson's shoulder, and it's real tough without actually like diving at the quarterback to not hit him that high.
Well, they called a face mask is what they called. So. Yeah. It's a 15-yard penalty, so it will give the first down via the penalty. It was a sack, and it would have been a big loss for the Tigers, but the penalty on Skyview on Kimball Jackson will give the Hurricane Tigers their first down of the game.
We're going to have to keep an eye out for that too, John. We got to remember, pink flags. I'm going to have to train my brain to watch for pink flags.
So 4th play of the drive. Well, actually, they didn't call a personal foul. They must have just called a 5-yard penalty. It looks like it is. It is only a 5-yard penalty. It's still 3rd down. He indicated, I thought, personal foul.
That's what I thought. But
3rd down and about 3. Skyview shows blitz. They hand off on the left side. Good run and a first down across the 30 to the 32. Trying to find the number. I think that was Stubbs, the sophomore.
It's Alexander Stubbs. Man, that was some hard running there by the running back.
So 5 yards from the 21, took the ball up to the 26, and he got to the 32. So a 6-yard rush gives them a first down. So that penalty was not a 15-yard face mask. It was just a 5-yard face mask on Skyview. So 6 yards on that rush, though, gave the first down to Hurricane. So with 10.5 to go, it's 1st and 10 Hurricane at their own 32. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. They send Wright in motion. They hand it off to Wright on the fly sweep. He's trying to get the corner. He does, and he gets tackled there near the 35, so he'll get positive yards, but Skyview strung it out just enough to keep it at a short gain.
Yeah, and that's the speed of Cole Watterson and Jackson Sundstrom on the play. Those 2 safeties just came flying over there to make that tackle.
R.J. Wright, the junior wide receiver, he does everything for him. He plays DB. He's also their kicker. So a 3-yard gain brings up 2nd down and 7 from the 35-yard line. Opening drive of the 4A first-round playoffs here in Smithfield. Skyview and Hurricane. Ashby's in shotgun, 2 receivers to the far side of the field. Sends a man in motion. Now he's going to hand it off and gets a block, and then he's cracked after a 1-yard gain. That's Stubbs. He got around one player, but then he got a rock hard tackle brought to by Castellite with the rock hard tackle.
Yeah, Cole Watterson just came up and laid the wood there. A huge hit by Cole Watterson. Like you said, John, definitely a Castellite rock hard tackle on that one.
Castellite, check them out online at castellite.com. They've got rock, block, brick, pavers, and they can do everything to make your yard look awesome. So a big third down again. Last time they got a first down on a Stubbs 6-yard run. This is about 3rd down and 5.
Is that a different quarterback?
It looks like a different quarterback. 3 receivers to the other side. They pitch it back, and they pitch it to Ashby. So Ashby lined up as a wide receiver on the left side, and they bring in the backup quarterback. That was Jace Meacham. The junior pitched it to Ashby on kind of a end around, and Ashby lost a yard back to the 36-yard line.
Yeah, Cordell Pond and Carson Dunkley both came off their blocks very quickly and were able to make that play there for the Bobcats.
One of the things Coach Hal told me is he loves Carter Ashby's speed, and the Bobcats were able to get it. But they're going to punt. The snap is back. Punt is away. It's a short one that bounces in front of Davis Hall and bounces right at the 30. And so it will be downed at the 31. It was a short punt. And so Skyview will take over at their own 31 after the punt. So Hurricane about takes 4 minutes off the clock. They actually take 3 minutes and 50 seconds off the clock. And they chewed up, 15 yards. But they had to punt it away, so Skyview starts at their own 31. Their first drive at 8:10 in the first quarter. No score here in the first round of the playoffs. Zollinger in shotgun. Reed Wild goes out of the backfield. Zollinger's going to fake the pass, and now he's going to run up the middle. Spins around the 36-yard line, and he's tackled near the 37, 38-yard line. That's one of those plays where Zollinger looks to pass to Wild, but then he didn't have him, so he just ran it up field, and he gained 6 yards.
Yeah, way to make something out of it. It's a quick read there by Zollinger. He looks to his right, doesn't see anything there, so then he decides to take off and get a nice positive gain there for the Bobcats.
So the ball's on the right hash, 2nd down and 4. Zollinger's going to hand it off to Watterson. Or no, that's Davis Hall, excuse me. Davis Hall gets the block. He's to the 40, the 50 before he's knocked out of bounds near midfield. They actually say he stepped out at the 48. Unfortunately, there's an injury back in the backfield by a Hurricane Tiger. Hopefully he's okay. He's holding his arm.
Yeah, they don't have numbers on their shoulders or anything, so it's hard to tell which Hurricane player's down right now.
Curtis Kazir for the Bobcats, their trainer, is out there to help out as well. But they get from the 30, let's see, it was from the 31, so from the 37 up to the 48. It's an 11-yard run for the Bobcats to get the first down for the Bobcats, and that was Davis Hall.
Man, Davis Hall, he gets that ball in space. I don't know if he's quite as fast as Cole Watterson. They probably ought to have a drag race between the two, but those two kids, you get those two, the ball out in space like that, and something electric can happen.
Make sure you stay tuned post-game as we will be announcing our McDonald's Player of the Game. Visit your local McDonald's for pickup and drive-through. Your local McDonald's is hiring also, so they have flexible hours, tuition reimbursement, plus other perks. Apply at careers.mcdonalds.com today. Of course, we'll name that Player of the Game sponsored by McDonald's after the game on our post-game show.
Looks like the down player for the Tigers is Ashton Williams.
Oh,
he's up now, but
he's a big part of their offense. Ashton Williams,
one of the few seniors. I mean, there are seniors on this team, but he is one of their seniors, and yeah, that's a big loss for the Tigers. You're hoping it's probably hopefully that's just the wind knocked out of him or something like that, and he can get back in this game.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns on the season, according to the Des News, 300 yards receiving, and he's also about 100 yards rushing, so that's part of their offense that they don't want to lose as he walks off the field on his own power, but I think he's, like you're saying, he's holding his midsection in his arm. So 1st and 10 Skyview after the Hall rush for a first down. Ball's on the left hash, couple receivers to each side. Zollinger in shotgun. He's back to pass. He's got time. Now he's hit as he throws. It's a duck up in the air, and it's knocked down and nearly picked off, and it is.
I think that is picked, yeah.
Great job as Zollinger is slow to get up as he was feeling pressure from number 70. Dallin Yates, the junior D lineman, got in there quickly, Rex. Made the hit on Zollinger just as he threw to try to get to Davis Hall. Hall climbed the ladder, but it was tipped up in the air and intercepted, I believe, by Ephraim Johnson.
21.
21, excuse me.
Torian Haynes.
Torian Haynes with
Yeah.
the interception.
And what a play that was, too, because that was not an easy interception. That was a diving play, and it was a real team effort there by Hurricane. The one defender knocks it away, and then Torian Haynes comes over there and picks that thing off.
Well, Hurricane will get the ball back.
And
no score.
Coach told us, like, we want to start fast, right? So
Yeah.
I like the shot that he took. You know, that's how you get a fast start going, is taking shots like that. But just didn't work out there for the Bobcats.
So from their own 26, we have a timeout on the field by Hurricane. We're going to take it as well. We'll be back after this 30-second break. No score in the first round of the playoffs here in Smithfield.
This is Judd with ARS Flood and Fire Cleanup. It's late at night, the weekend, or a holiday. You've just discovered your basement is flooded. Where are you going to find help right now? At ARS, we can take your call 24 hours a day, and when these disasters happen, we can have a flood team to your home within 30 minutes. We are also the insurance claim experts. When disaster overwhelms you, let ARS restore your peace of mind. Call 753-9600 or go to our website at arscleanup.com.
Welcome back to Smithfield. No score after the interception by the Tigers. Ashby takes over at his own 26 in shotgun. He's got three receivers out to the left side. Ashby's going to roll out to that left side on first down. He throws. It is no, he dropped it. It hit him right in the numbers, but he dropped it. The intended receiver, Torian Haynes, who just got the interception, he dropped the ball.
Yeah, they went right back to him. You know, hey, you made a sweet play on defense there. We're going to try to give you the ball back on offense. And he just turned upfield a little bit before he caught the ball.
So incomplete on first down. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. 7:16, opening quarter of the 4A state playoffs here in Smithfield. We'll keep track of other games going on. Cedar is at Logan. Bear River is down at Dixie. In that game, Bear River and Dixie, the winner of that game plays the winner of this game next week. Ashby in shotgun on 2nd and 10. The blitz is on by Skyview. It's a handoff and a run, and Skyview snuffs it out on the left side. Nothing doing. No gain as 3 or 4 Bobcats are there to make the tackle.
Yeah, the linebacking core for Skyview is just flying to the ball.
Stubbs taken down for no gain. It'll be 3rd and 10. Yeah, Coach Hal talked about his defense. He wanted them to be more aggressive, more violent is the term he used, to just make sure they're wrapping up and making tackles, because that's been one of the inconsistencies all season long for Skyview is wrapping up.
Right, but picture all the running backs that they faced too, right? I don't know if you could face tougher running backs than the Bobcats have this season.
3rd and 10 from their own 26. Second drive for the Tigers. Hurricane, that's Ashby back to pass. He's going to roll out. Now he has to roll back the other way as the pocket was breaking down. He's still back there.
He's so
running
fast.
around. Skyview chasing him all over the field. He's still on his feet. He throws and nearly picked off. He was trying to hit the big tight end, I believe. That's Jace Meacham. I think that's number 9. It's kind of rolled up there, but
yeah.
I'll tell you what, Ashby was just like a little jitterbug back there.
Oh my gosh, he's so fast. He is unbelievably fast, but he did something you never want your quarterback to do. You never want them to throw late back to the middle of the field, right? And Tate Thurston almost made him pay for that as Tate dove and tried to intercept that ball.
So 4th and 10, they'll have to punt. Skyview back at their own 40 to receive. It's back. It's a low-line drive. Davis Hall lets it bounce, and he's going to run it at the 45. Breaks a tackle to the 50, the 45 of the Tigers, down to the 35 of the Tigers before he's taken down. So a good return. There is a flag down. There is a flag down at the 41 of Hurricane.
I was looking at the marker.
Yeah, where he spotted it.
Yeah, I could see a pink thing down there on the
So he returned it from the 45, so 10, about a 20-yard return and a penalty on Skyview. And the penalty flag is at the 41 as they march it back. I didn't see the call, but it's probably a holding or a block in the back. So it takes it back to right at midfield.
That'll make math easy from there.
Thank goodness. Thank you, officials, because we aren't good at math. So with 6:07 in the first quarter, Skyview and Hurricane are scoreless. Starting at the 50-yard line. Zollinger threw an interception last possession as he was hit as he threw. They're going to fake the fly sweep, and then they hand it off to number 4, Truman Moser, and he has nowhere to go. Ephraim Johnson making the tackle. The senior linebacker came in and took down Moser in the backfield, a loss of 3 back to the 47.
Yeah, that play did not work for the Bobcats. We'll see how they respond right here, though.
And they draw.
Get the free 5 yards.
But Skyview hasn't been able to draw a team offsides for a couple of games, but that's their bread and butter. They usually do that. Offsides, Hurricanes' first penalty of the game. Skyview's gotten 2 already.
Yeah, and that's going to, I mean, that obviously that negates the loss, right? And then it puts you back as if you had a positive 2-yard gain rather than the 3-yard loss.
So 2nd down and 8 at the Hurricane 48. Zollinger in shotgun, 2 receivers to each side. Davis Hall in motion. They hand it off to Moser on the right side, but Hurricane cracks him right as he crossed the line of scrimmage. A gain of 1. They're going to maybe say 2 yards up to the 46, but he was cracked pretty hard.
Yeah, that Hurricane defense flexing their muscles right now, looking pretty good.
So Moser back-to-back rushing plays, brings up 3rd and about 7 for the Bobcats. Zollinger in shotgun. They line up quickly. Now they look to the sideline. Hurricane kind of plays a 4-2-5 defense. Zollinger back to pass. He throws. It's complete at the 40 to Hall, and he's up the sideline for the first down. We'll see where he's pushed out of bounds against that zone. They're going to mark him at the 34. So from the 46 to the 34, a first down on a 12-yard pass play to Davis Hall.
And then it just seems like, too, when they need to get a pass play going, it seems like Davis Hall is the dude. Like, he's the guy that's getting open and making the plays here for Skyview.
First and 10, Skyview. Man in motion across the formation is Hall. They're going to hand it off to Reed Wild, right side, but the linebacker shoots the gap.
Wow.
And again, Ephraim Johnson, the senior linebacker, he's made a couple plays in the backfield for the Tigers.
I mean, Reed was able to fall forward. I don't know if they were going to give him a yard or not on that, but wow, what a play there by the linebacker, Ephraim Johnson.
4:29 on the first quarter clock, no score. Second possession for Skyview. Hurricane just went 3 and out. Skyview is their 5th play of the drive that started at midfield. They're at the 34-yard line of Hurricane on 2nd and 9. Zollinger back to pass. He's got time. Now he throws the outlet to Wild. Wild trying to make a move, and he's twisted out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Depending on the spot, it's right near that 30-yard line on the Skyview sideline. And they marked him actually at the 31 is where he must have come out. So a gain of 2. It'll bring up 3rd and long, 3rd and 7 about.
Empty backfield on a 3rd and 7 too.
So Zollinger, 3 receivers to the right. Zollinger's going to pass complete over the middle, and a good gain to the 20, the 15, and a shoelace tackle. Otherwise, Foster was going for the end zone. He had a lot of room in the middle there, Rex.
Yeah, and they're going with a lot of tempo here, John.
So 31 down to the 14, 15-yard line, and now a timeout. 16-yard line, so a 15-yard gain, but a timeout by Hurricane, their 2nd of the first half. So a 15-yard pass play for the first down, and we're going to step aside for 30 seconds to be back right after this.
At Cache Valley Auto Care, you'll find all the expertise you need to take care of your car, from advanced diagnostics and major repairs to oil changes, tires, brakes, and maintenance. You can count on Cache Valley Auto Care to tell you what needs fixing now and what stuff can wait. So whether your check engine light just went on or it's time for an oil change, now is the time to head over to Cache Valley Auto Care. Because when your car isn't working right, you just need someone who can help make your life a little easier. Cache Valley Auto Care, behind Home Depot on 200 East, 1175 North.
First and 10, Skyview. They're marching After the punt by Hurricanes, Skyview started at their midfield. This is the 7th play of the drive after a 15-yard pass play to Foster for the first down. 3:25 on the first quarter clock. Left hash, Zollinger sends Foster in motion. He fakes the fly sweep. He's going to throw for the end zone. Complete! Sundstrom! Sundstrom catches his first pass in like 4 games, but it's a touchdown from 16 yards out, and Skyview strikes first.
Yeah, just great play there by Sundstrom. Sundstrom's able to, he runs a little bit of a go route, like he's going to kind of fake it to the corner of the end zone, breaks it off on a slant, and Zollinger just puts it right on the money to Sundstrom. And how great is it to see that kid catch a touchdown? We've wanted to see Jackson catch a touchdown for a little while now, and he got one.
Erickson on for the extra point, waiting for the snap. Snap is back, hold is down, kick is on the way, and it is good. So with 3:20 in the first quarter, it's 7-0 Skyview. We'll be back right after this.
When it's important to make an impression, call on the Logo Shop. They specialize in designing and customizing your logo onto t-shirts, golf shirts, jackets, and hats. Your logo will look great on name brand apparel from Nike, Travis Mathew, OGIO, North Face, Under Armour, and Carhartt. The Logo Shop can put your logo on literally thousands of items: pens, water bottles, mugs, travel accessories, outdoor gear like Yeti coolers. Call on the Logo Shop and check out the possibilities.
The Logo Shop, the logo stuff, the Logo Shop. Just a young gun with a quick fuse. I was uptight, wanna let loose. I was dreaming of bigger things and wanna leave my old life behind.
Welcome back to Skyview High School. First round of the 4A playoffs, 7-0 Skyview as they take the lead with 3:20 in the opening quarter, and Erickson boots it away into the end zone, and Hurricane will take over from their own 20. But a 7-play drive for the Bobcats that they cap off. They covered 50 yards in 7 plays, and they took about 3 minutes off the clock, and it was capped off with a 16-yard TD pass from Zollinger to Sundstrom.
And Zollinger's hit 4 different receivers today on offense there. He's got Davis Hall for one. He completed one to Reed Wild. He also completed one to Jackson Foster, and then the touchdown there, like you had mentioned, to Jackson Sundstrom.
We do have a score update. We'll get to that after this 1st and 10 play for Ashby and the Tigers. From their own 20, 7-0 Skyview. Ashby's going to hand it off around the left side, and nothing there as the Skyview Bobcats swarm the running back Stubbs.
Yeah, Stubbs looks pretty good when he gets into space, but the linebackers and the defensive ends are just flowing for Skyview right now and making those plays.
1-yard loss on the rush. This score update, Bear River is at Dixie. The winner of this game plays the winner of Dixie and Bear River, and Dixie leads 14-0. Bear River has a 4th and goal from the 4-yard line, so they're knocking on the door, but Dixie leads Bear River 14-0. This score update brought to you by Guild Mortgage.
John, we got another score update after this play.
2nd down and 10. Ashby fakes the handoff. The blitz is on. He's going to throw incomplete as number 7 for the Bobcats off the left edge. Cole Watterson was in there and just got his hands up, and Ashby just let that go. Incomplete.
Les Olson Company brings you this score update. No matter where your employees work, at home or in the office, Les Olson is your office technology partner. You were mentioning Bear River knocking on the door. They were able to punch it in. It's now 14 for Dixie, 7 for Bear River.
Well, Bear River hasn't gotten a win on the season, but they're hanging with the 4 seed Dixie, 14-7. So Ashby in shotgun on 3rd and 11. From their own 19. Back to pass. He's already looking to run. He rolls out to the right side. He throws long. It's intercepted by Sundstrom. Jackson Sundstrom having a monster game with the interception and a touchdown already. Jackson Sundstrom having a game at the 42-yard line.
Yeah, I would say so. He can't draw it up much better than that. We did see his dad down there on the sideline watching his boy out there. And, wow. 2 huge impact plays by Sundstrom.
Ashby rolled out. He saw blitz, and so he rolled out to the left side, let it fly, but Sundstrom was there at the 42 to pick it off. So Skyview ball at the 42-yard line with 2:22 left on the first quarter clock. 7-0 Skyview. They're at the 42 of Hurricane. As Sundstrom intercepted it and then just fell to the ground. Two receivers to the left. Ball is on the right hash. Running back on the right hip of Zollinger on 1st and 10. Now they look to the sideline. Reed Wild goes to the left hip of Zollinger. Snap is back. Handoff to... Oh, he fumbles, and Hurricane might have it. The ball's loose. We'll see. There's a couple Skyview players there as there was a fumble exchange. Skyview fell on it somehow. I thought Hurricane had it.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Somehow Skyview's able to stand up with that, but I thought Hurricane recovered that.
So 3 yards back, it must have jostled away as there was a Hurricane defensive lineman right there as Zollinger put it on the hip of Wild and just fumbled it away like they didn't get the exchange good. Clock runs at 1:45 in the first quarter. 3 receivers to the left. They pitched out to Truman Moser. He's got the edge. What a block by Davis Hall, and there comes the flags. They call it crackback block. It's about player safety. There's 2 flags. The sideline official and the back judge both called it, but to me, that's just a real good block by Davis Hall, but they did call a crackback block.
Yeah, and Coach Howell's out there talking to him, explaining what it is that he did wrong. But
well, I don't know. I mean, it's the rule that for player safety, but I don't know what you're supposed to do there. I guess
it's a game of warriors, right? Like it's a game of kids out there giving everything they can physically, and you're going to see plays like that. And I'm with you, John. To me, that falls in a category of like that's a great block.
The thing I don't like about it is Hall didn't come running in to like make the block. He was right there. The defender ran, and so he just knocked him on his rear end. But it is a blindside block, so it's a 15-yard penalty that will take it back into Skyview territory at the 40-yard line. It's second and forever for the Bobcats.
Brings up second down and 27.
Back to pass as Zollinger blitzes on. They set up the screen to Moser. He breaks the tackle. He's to midfield. Now he breaks it outside, and a shoelace tackle there by Trenton Timpson, the senior. But a good gain from the 40 of 12 yards up into Hurricane territory.
Zollinger's now hit 5 different receivers.
So a gain of 12 to Moser brings up 3rd, and it's still 3rd and long.
Yeah, that's such a great play call, though, to get some of those yards back.
They're at the 48. They got to get to the 33-yard line for a first down. So it's 3rd and 15 for Zollinger. Empty backfield, back to pass. Blitz is on, spins out of it, rolling to the left side. He lets it fly. Complete to Watterson for the first down.
What a play by Zollinger.
Zollinger spun out of the corner blitz as he was dead to right. Then he found the open receiver, Cole Watterson, because the defender from the corner blitzed, and it's down to the 26-yard line. So a good play from the 48 to the 26, a 22-yard pass play for the first down. 1st and 10 Skyview. They lead 7-0. Zollinger fakes the handoff. He's going to throw a slant, and it's picked off. He threw it to right. The defensive back, as Zollinger just airmailed the receiver who just went down in the zone, and Zollinger missed him very high, but not too high because Wright, the tall defender, right there for the pick.
Yeah, he airmailed that one to his receiver. It's a quick hitter route there, a quick slant route, and he just sails that ball. You wonder if his grip was right on the ball or what happened, but Zollinger throws his 2nd interception of the game, and now the Hurricane defense gives the offense a chance to come out here and try to come out and tie this thing.
They're at their own 33, so 2 turnovers by the Bobcats in the first half. And nearly another one when they fumbled it. So 1st and 10 from their own 33. Skyview leads 7-0, 30 seconds here in the first quarter. Ashby's going to hand it off on the left side. Positive yard up to the 34, maybe the 35. They're going to give him 2 yards to the 35.
Yeah, Taylor Lindley with the tackle on the play there for the Bobcats.
On that right side, it was Stubbs. Clock continues to run. That will probably take us to the end of the first quarter. 5 seconds on the clock. Hurricane just breaking the huddle. And that will be it. So at the end of the first quarter, it's Skyview 7 and Hurricane nothing in the first round of the 4A playoffs. We'll take a 1-minute break and be back right after this.
This is the season to stock up on oil and filters. It's the Fall Napa Gold Filter Sale at all 5 Cache Valley Napa Auto Parts stores. Napa Synthetic Blend Oil, $1.99 a quart. Seafoam Fuel Additive, $5.99 a can. Napa 15W40, $9.99 a gallon. Chevron Delo 15W40, $11.99 a gallon. These specials and a whole lot more during the Napa Gold Filter Sale now through September 15th at your 5 locally owned Preston to Providence Napa Auto Parts stores.
Napa know-how. Napa know-how.
Jessup Insurance and Retirement Services. Let us guide you.
Do you have retirement questions about financial planning and investing, Medicare, estate planning, or complex tax strategies? Jessup Insurance can answer those questions. Let Jessup Insurance guide you into a better retirement. Call Jessup Insurance 435-213-3200 or Google Jessup Insurance.
Jessup Insurance and Retirement Services. Let us guide you.
Welcome back. Start of the second quarter, 2nd down and 8. And it's a different quarterback. It's not Ashby. And there's a flag on the play before it could even get started. Jace Meacham was back there, and they sent Ashby in motion, but they're going to call a penalty. The line judge is going to call dead ball, false start.
Huh.
False start.
Coach Ashby's not sure why.
Yeah, coach is wondering what's going on. He's out there. I think they want him to run the play again, though. I just was watching Coach Ashby over there, and he's telling him, run it again, run it again.
Well, we didn't see anyone move. Carter Ashby was at a wide receiver, and
yeah,
he
but
looped
he went
around.
in motion, though.
Yeah, he went in motion. That's why I'm saying, like, I don't know where the false start was, but now an empty backfield on 2nd down and 13. It's Meacham. He sends Ashby in motion. Skyview's going to blitz. Now Ashby's going to throw, and it's tipped and in the air and nearly picked off.
Oh, my goodness.
Reed Wild and Carson Dunkley nearly had interceptions for Skyview, so they run that end around with Ashby, and then Ashby threw the ball, but he just couldn't get it over the Skyview Bobcats jumping up. As that play, when Ashby goes in motion, you could see Kimball Jackson, as soon as Ashby left the slot position, he was blitzing.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Jackson just throws his hands up and knocks the pass down there. But I don't know. I don't love when a coach shows his hand, like shows his cards like that, because he showed what he was doing on the play, right? And then he just decided to run the same play again. We knew Ashby was going in motion. I think everybody here knew that was going to be the exact same play.
3rd and 13, 7-0 Skyview, just at the start of the second quarter for the Tigers on offense. Jackson trying to run around the end, trying to track down Ashby, rolls out to the right side, complete right at the original line of scrimmage, but Cole Watterson just hits the receiver. As soon as he caught it, it was Levi Grondel, but he's taken down right there. So a 4-yard pass play, but then he's taken down right away, and it brings up 4th and 9.
The Tigers. On the punt for the Tigers, number 35.
So into punt again
Bobcats, number 3, Davis Hall.
is Hurricane. Davis Hall back to return at his own 40. Snap is back. The punt is away. It's a low line drive. It lands at the 50 and takes a Hurricane roll all the way down.
That took a very friendly bounce because that was
it rolled.
That was a hideous punt.
Yeah, it rolled 15 yards, 16 yards from midfield. It hit at the 50 and rolled all the way down to the 34, where Skyview will take over at their own 34. They're leading 7-0, but they haven't looked too crisp. 2 interceptions and 1 ball that they've recovered that they've put on the ground.
Well, they really haven't got the running game going. They've got an 11-yard carry by Davis Hall, and then their next most explosive run is 6 yards by Zollinger.
So Zollinger, 1st and 10, takes a snap. He's going to pitch it out. They try to get the edge with Moser. He cuts up field, and he's taken down across the 40 to the 41. So a good 1st down gain for the Bobcats of about 6 yards. They actually marked him up near the 42-yard line. So they're going to give him, we'll give him 8 yards. He got up there.
Yeah, I was thinking it was a spot where you had said, John, but then he fell forward absolutely on that one.
So 10:35 in the first half, 7-0 Skyview. 2nd down and 2 for the Bobcats at their own 42. Zollinger going to hand it off to Wild. He breaks a tackle. That's Moser, excuse me. He busted a tackle in the backfield. Again, though, Hurricane was back there, but Skyview's got the first down to the midfield, so another 8 yards. So back-to-back 8-yard carries for the Bobcats and Moser.
Right on cue after I'm saying they haven't got the run going. They get 16 yards on 2 carries.
And then they hurry it up, and then another rush, and Moser bowls over a defender and falls forward from the 50-yard line up to the 46, a 4-yard carry for Moser that time, as he really punished the defender that time.
Well, and that was Ephraim Johnson, too. I mean, we've seen Ephraim Johnson making some plays for Hurricane, but he was on the receiving end of a Truman Moser run there.
Empty backfield, 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Zollinger on second down and 4. Takes the snap. He's looking left the whole way. Complete. Makes a move at the 40, and that's Davis Hall. Gets the first down again to the 39, 38-yard line. So a gain of 8 and another first down for the Bobcats.
Davis Hall is the only player for the Bobcats to have more than 1 reception.
6 on the play. That results in another Skyview.
So Skyview getting the first downs, but they're their own worst enemy as they keep turning the ball over. 9:30 on the first half clock, 7-0 Skyview. They're in Hurricane territory at the 38. It's a 1st and 10. Sundstrom lines up on one side, Davis Hall on the other. Zollinger is going to take a low snap. He's blitzed and sacked.
They had them offsides. They had Hurricane offsides. I'm not sure.
The center didn't snap it. That was a weird play. And then Zollinger it was a low snap when it finally came back, Rex, and then he was sacked back at the 45. It'll be a loss of 7.
Well, I think Shez Hulse, the center, I think he saw a Hurricane player across the line, so he hurried and snapped it, trying to get the offsides penalty, but it was not thrown.
I believe that's the 2nd sack by Hurricane today. So 2nd down and 17 back at the 45 of Hurricane. Empty backfield for Zollinger on 2nd and long. Tried to draw him off sides. Now he looks to the sideline. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Zollinger back to pass. He's looking right. He throws incomplete. Misses Foster. That was around the 38-yard line, the original line of scrimmage. It falls incomplete, and it'll bring up 3rd and 17.
Yeah, Skyview's got to get something going. I really like that. Last time they were in a hole, they called a screenplay to Moser. I really like that play call, but you've kind of already shown it now. I don't know if they can go back to that, but it did work well last time they were behind the chains like this.
This video experience on CashValleyDaily.com is brought to you by Adams Wealth Advisors. 3rd and 17 for the Bobcats. They lead 7-0, 8.5 in the first half. Couple receivers to each side. Reed Wild in the backfield. Back to pass to Zollinger. There's a penalty marker, and it's another sack.
Moving.
3 sacks by Hurricane, and Zollinger goes back again. Skyview looks completely out of sync as they've got people moving, 2 people moving at once, and it's happened a couple times.
Well, Reed Wild did not know where he was supposed to line up on that play. I mean, he was all kinds of out of sorts.
So from the 45, 5-10, that was a loss of 13. On the sack. So 2 sacks in this drive, and Skyview will have to punt. They started at their own 34. They got across midfield, and now they're punting again. 8th play of the drive here. Believe is that
Sundstrom.
Sundstrom back to punt, right to return for Hurricane. Sundstrom gets a high one, but it's short. It bounces in Hurricane territory and then goes directly left. Sundstrom, not one of his best punts at all this season. It looks like Skyview hasn't played in a week and a half.
It looks pretty rough.
It does look rough out there.
Yeah, they're very fortunate to have a 7-0 lead with 8:09 in the second quarter here because, I mean, I feel like if they're playing almost any other opponent, this thing's not going to be quite as balanced as it is. But the hard part, though, is Skyview has shown flashes, right? They've shown these moments where they've looked really good, and then it just, like, comes to a crumbling halt for them.
8:09 in the first half. Hurricane with the ball at their own 35, 1st and 10. Ashby back to pass. No, he's going to run up the middle on a designed run, and he bowls forward. All 5'6" of him, and a late flag comes flying in.
He is tough for a small kid.
Ashby gained about 2 or 3 yards, but now the back judge throws a flag, and he threw it really high. I don't know if he was trying to emphasize it,
Well, the thing I'm struggling with is I almost feel like he's going to throw that on the Skyview lineman.
Well, that was so far from the ball. I mean,
tackled Ashby because Ashby actually threw the defender over him.
Personal foul, Skyview.
They just called it on Ashby pushing a defender, and it looked like the defender was like rolling on him, but Ashby was actually like, get off me.
Well, we're going to keep it here. Skyview calls a timeout, and they're all huddled up as Coach Howell wants to talk to them and refocus. So they gain 3. So Ashby will get credit for 3 yards, Rex, on that rushing play because it was a dead ball foul, and then the personal foul, whatever it was on Skyview, because he never indicated anything as far as except that it was on Skyview, and the ball will be placed at the 48 of Skyview after that 15 yards. So it'll be a first down.
I like this timeout by Coach Howell, though, right? He takes his kids out there. He says, hey, we got to get our heads straight because we are playing not great football right now, especially after a personal foul penalty. I think that's a great time to call it. Collect the kids, collect their thoughts, get their minds right, and get them back to just doing what they love, which is playing football.
This score update brought to you by Jessup Insurance and Retirement Services. Call Jessup Insurance at 435-213-3200. It's Cedar that just scored and takes the lead over Logan, 17-13 with 4 minutes and 20 seconds in the first half. So a 1st and 10 for Hurricane from the 48 of Skyview. Kimball Jackson on the blitz. Ashby rolls away from him on the right side. He throws deep. He has a man out there. It's incomplete. Wright had it in his hands. Sundstrom ripped it out at the 12-yard line. Sundstrom was beaten on the play as a safety, but he ripped the ball away.
Word for word how I was going to describe that, John. He's beat on the play, but as Wright goes to put his arms up, as soon as that ball touches Wright's arms, Sundstrom pulls on them and makes that fall incomplete. And one thing I like that Hurricane's doing, and I don't know if this is intentional or not, but it almost seems like whatever side Kimball Jackson lines up on, they roll the opposite direction because Kimball Jackson is coming off the edge almost untouched every play for the Bobcats.
Well, Kimball Jackson should be a first-team all-region defensive lineman for sure. 7:56 in the first half. He's very disruptive for the Bobcats. 7-0. Ashby's going to run the fly sweep this time. Right to left, they've got the edge. Upfield, makes the hit near the 40-yard line before he's bumped out of bounds. Number 24, it's Hunter Prince, the sophomore. Again, we mentioned how young this team is. He gets up to the 40. It will be shy of the first down, but it is some positive yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 2.
And back to the sophomore thing there, John. You know, they've taken their licks this year, have the Hurricane Tigers, but sometimes that pays off a couple years down the road when those sophomores become seniors and they've got all this varsity experience.
Yeah. A couple wins at the start of the season, Richfield and American Leadership were their 2 wins, and then nothing from there. So 3rd down and 2 at the Skyview 40. Tigers, Ashby runs up the middle, and he's stuffed. There was nothing there as he tried to go right up the middle. He faked the fly sweep to Prince, but then he went up the middle, and he was stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that was Carson Dunkley that came up the middle there, as well as 53, Cordell Pond. Cordell Pond, I really like him as a defensive lineman. I feel like he's able to shed blocks really well and usually makes plays right at the line of scrimmage like that.
Well, a big play here for both teams. 7-0 Skyview, 7:20 in the first half. It's a 4th and 2 at the Skyview 40, and it looks like the Tigers are going for it. A big decision for Coach Ashby, and he's rolling the dice here in the first round of the playoffs.
I like it.
I do too. 4th and 2. Ashby under center. He's got 2 players in the backfield.
Got to watch the ball if you're Skyview, though.
Ashby takes the snap. He's going to fake the handoff. He's back to pass. He throws. It's out there. And picked
Sundstrom,
off.
another
but a
interception.
Penalty marker on Davis Hall. It's going to be a pass interference as they were trying to get it to Wright. So Sundstrom won't get the pick. Carson Dunkley applying the pressure in the backfield on Ashby, but I think it's going to be pass interference on Skyview, Rex.
Yeah, I think you're right. I just think, man, what a game Jackson Sundstrom is having. He did land awkwardly, though. He goes up, climbs the ladder, intercepts that ball at a high point. But, man, he came down really hard. You can tell I think his arm's bugging him after that.
So Coach Howell doesn't like it. He's talking to the official, and the official just kind of puts his hand up like, talk to the hand, and just runs away. Coach Howell's not satisfied with that, though. 15-yard penalty, another first down via the penalty for the Tigers. This is their second one of this drive. This is the 5th play of the drive coming up. 1st and 10 as they're down the furthest that they've been at the Skyview 25. Ashby takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Stubbs. Stubbs goes on the right side, and he's stacked up, but he did gain 2 or 3 yards.
Stubbs on the carry, brought down by number 8, Kimball Jackson.
A decent run there to get Hurricane up and running like that. But, man, that offensive line for Hurricane's actually pretty stout. I really like the center. He's only a junior. It's Tanu Anumaopeya is his name.
You tried it.
And I can usually roll off Polynesian names pretty quick, but not that one. But, man, what a stout center he is.
Ashby in shotgun on 2nd and 8 at the Skyview 23. Back to pass. He's going to have to scoot up in the pocket. He throws. He's hit as he throws. Intercepted, and a flag comes out again.
Oh, my goodness. Another interception, another flag.
Wow, so a pass interference, we believe, on Skyview. Who got the pick? Was that Rigby that time?
Yeah, Brooks Rigby that time goes up and gets it. But, man, that back judge, he really likes throwing that flag.
Well, Rigby with the interception at the 10-yard line. He ran it back to about the 20 before he was tackled. Now the officials line up to talk about it, but they shouldn't have to talk long because they called pass interference on Skyview. Another first down via the penalty, the 3rd one on this drive that started at their own 45 for the Tigers. Skyview shooting themselves in the foot today.
2 interceptions on this drive alone, negated by pass interference penalties. One by Sundstrom and one by Brooks Rigby now. Both of them end up being big plays for Hurricane.
So they've had 3 first downs on this drive. All 3 have been via the penalty. They're going to mark the ball at the 11-yard line, 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line of Skyview. 6:04 in the first half, 7-0 Skyview. Ashby goes under center. Takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Stubbs, and Stubbs is cracked in the backfield. Quickly there by Taylor Lindley, the sophomore for the Bobcats.
Yeah, Taylor Lindley's been getting a lot of playing time in this game. I feel like I haven't seen him out there the entire season, but this game he's been out there and he's been making some plays.
Stubbs gets a 1-yard rush to the 10-yard line. It will be 2nd and 9. Clock continues to run down to 5:35 here in the first half. 7-0 Skyview. First round of the 4A state playoffs. The winner will take on the winner of Dixie and Bear River. Ashby goes back under center. Ashby takes the snap. He's back to pass. A lot of pressure. He throws and nearly picked off again. Kimball Jackson ripped him down to the ground, and it will go incomplete.
Yeah, that was number 5, Tate Thurston, out there just blanketing the wide receiver. I mean, really the only thing Ashby could try to do is try to throw it high over him, but Tate Thurston climbs the ladder there and jumps up to defend the pass. Sundstrom has been getting looked at for a minute too, Johnny. Has not checked back in since he made that interception.
Well, the interception that didn't count, but like you described it perfectly, he landed awkwardly.
Yeah, he landed awkwardly at almost that shoulder, right arm, something in that area.
7-0 Skyview, 3rd and 9 from the 10-yard line of Skyview. 5:17 in the first half. Ashby is in shotgun right. Their big, tall receiver in the slot on the left side. Sends a man in motion, fake the handoff. Ashby rolls to the left side, looking for right. Now he's going to run. He fakes the pass. He gets away from one defender, and then he's stacked up and taken out of bounds near the 5-yard line. So it will bring up 4th down and probably about 4 yards for a first. We'll wait to see where they spot it.
Yeah, Ashby's just so shifty. He gets out to the edge and just turns on another speed out there. And it was a good play there by Cam Carling to stack him up there on the sideline.
4th and 4 from the 5-yard line. And I believe they're going for it. Nope, they're sending right in for a field goal from the left hash. This will be a 22-yard attempt.
You got to let him kick this thing and play coverage here.
He's kicked a 42-yarder on the season, so right from the left hash. A 22-yard attempt. Ashby the holder. Snap is back. Hold is down. Kick on the way. It's nearly blocked, but it looks good, and it is.
Wow.
So R.J. Wright gets Hurricane on the board from 22 yards, and it's 7-3. Skyview with the lead. We'll take a break when we'll be back right after this.
Sack lunch, picnic lunch, business lunch. There's nothing better or more satisfying than the lunch special at Old Grist Mill. It's lunch the way Mother Nature intended. All natural bread, the perfect amount of meat, veggies to your liking. And then it only gets better with your choice of a fresh-baked cookie, chips, and drink. You know what we're talking about, that famous Old Grist Mill lunch special. Get your made-to-order special at the South Logan, and now Smithville locations. Old Grist Mill, here for you.
Welcome back to Skyview High School. 5:05 in the first half, and it's 7-3 as Hurricane just kicked a 22-yard field goal on a drive that they started at their own 45. It was an 8-play drive, and they capped it off with a 22-yard field goal.
And a whole lot of Skyview penalties.
3 of them, all 15-yarders. They kick it up there in the air. Rigby's going to return it at the 18, trying to get to the middle of the field. He's got the field to the 35. There's a marker that comes in, usually a hold, and the hold is at the 25. It's a spot foul, so the return by Rigby on the short kick. But Brooks Rigby returned it near the 40, but I think it's coming back.
Man, Skyview cannot play a clean game right now. They keep having big plays, but these big plays don't mean anything when a penalty is associated with them.
So let's see what the penalty is. We think it's a hold.
Yeah, they did signal hold.
Okay, so they mark it back. It will go back to the 16-yard line is where we'll say. Skyview will start this drive. They lead 7-3 with 4:58 left in the half. Skyview just really disjointed. A lot of it has to do with Hurricane, and a lot of it has to do with themselves, just with some misplays. Mistakes on offense. On first down, they hand it off to Wild. He breaks a tackle, but then he's finally tackled, but he gained a couple yards up to the 18.
It's the first positive gain I got Reed Wild for.
Yeah, that way he just kind of shifted to the left and then got up. Got a couple of score updates when we can get them in, so they're back at their 18. Skyview 2nd and 8. Zollinger in shotgun, takes the snap, he pitches it out to Wild this time, gets the blocks. He's upfield and taken down. Let's see where they mark him out. He was near the sideline, up near the 25. It will be 3rd and short.
That was a lot better gain than I thought it was.
Well, they do mark him at the 25, so it'll be a 7-yard rush, and it'll be 3rd down and 1. Back-to-back Wild runs. Skyview lines up on 3rd and 1 from the 25-yard line. Zollinger hands it off to Wild. He's got some room. He's up to the 30 and across the 30. Wild's best run of the day up to the 34. It'll be a 1st down for the Bobcats. 9-yard run.
Yeah, 18 yards rushing on this drive here for Reed Wild.
So up to the 34-yard line, 1st and 10 Skyview, their own 34. They lead 7-3, clock running at 3:37 in the first half. Zollinger back to pass. No, he hands it off to Truman Moser up the middle. Moser gets up across the 40 to the 41, so a 7-yard run on 1st down.
This tempo is really helping Skyview right now. All they're doing is just kind of switching out a player every other play and just running some tempo right at Hurricane, daring them to stop the run right now.
2nd and 3. 3 receivers bunched up on the right side, one to the far side of the field. Zollinger takes the snap. He's going to pitch it to Moser with all the blockers. He's got room to the 45, the 50, and gets into Hurricane territory for a 1st down again up to the 46-yard line. So let's see. That's a 10, 11-yard gain for a 1st down.
And we got to give a shout out there to Kimball Jackson. He really set the edge at the tight end position. He blocked the defender back into the middle of the field and created that hole for Moser.
1st and 10, Bobcats. They're going to pitch it to the other side to Moser again. He's got the edge, and he cuts upfield. So from the 47-yard line, they get across the 45 to the 44, a 3-yard run on first down.
Brought down by number 2, Ethan Johnson.
It's almost like wherever they put Kimball Jackson at tight end is kind of the side that they were wanting to run to there. He's doing a really good job setting the edge.
So clock continues to run down to 2:20 here in the first half. 7-3 Skyview. They're in Hurricane territory at the 44 of Hurricane. 7th play of the drive that started at their own 16. Second down and 7. Fake the handoff, throw out to Davis Hall. He's going to run upfield. Has a block. He gets near the first down marker. Depends on the spot. So from the 44-yard line, he got up to
I'm trying to wait for
37. So a 7-yard pass play for the first down right on the tackle for the Tigers.
I like how they're doing this short, quick game here. I think it does set up something big downfield.
Zollinger back to pass on first down. He sets up the screen. It's complete to Wild. He's got some blockers outside, 25-20, and he's bumped out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Or they're going to mark him at the 21, a 16-yard screen pass to Wild for another first down.
Man, Reed Wild is putting in some work on this drive.
So Skyview with 1:42 on the clock, it stopped as he got knocked out of bounds. They're down to the 21-yard line of the Tigers, 1st and 10. They lead 7-3. 3 receivers to the left. The ball's on the right hash.
The key now, John, is protect the ball.
Zollinger pitches it out to Wild. He's trying to get the edge. Now he's upfield to the 15, and a flag comes flying in. A holding call on Skyview, I assume, as Wild busted it for about 9 yards. But while we await that, some score updates. My phone just decided not to give them to me. Now they do. Logan leads Cedar 26-17 with about a minute and a half before the first half. And at the half, Dixie leads Bear River 34-7 at the half. That game was 14-7 early, but Dixie pours it on right before the half, and they lead 34-7. The winner of that game will play the winner of this game, and it will be at Dixie High School, no matter who wins this game, Skyview or Hurricane. Those scores brought to you by CashValleyDaily.com.
Repeat first down, 1st and 15.
Yeah, Dixie seems to be handling business against the Bears.
Not too shocking.
No.
Bears still haven't won on the season. Back to pass, Zollinger, double move, he fakes it, now he throws complete, but Davis Hall had to go down to get it, so it goes back to the original line of scrimmage. It was at the 27. It was a 5-yard pass play on 1st and 15.
2nd down and 10 to the Bobcats.
So now Skyview, the clock runs under a minute now. They've got 2 timeouts. Back to pass. Zollinger throws for the end zone. He's got a man out there. Incomplete. As he doesn't give him a chance, he throws it over his head and out of bounds. He was trying to hit Davis Hall, and Cole Watterson was there and kind of like, hey, I was open.
Yeah, he tried going for the deep ball over there, but he did have Watterson in the middle.
Hall had a step on his defender, but Zollinger just passed it a little bit outside. So for 53 seconds, it's third.
Ferguson out there.
Oh, Ferguson,
yeah.
Excuse me. So it's 3rd down for the Bobcats and 10 from the 21 of the Tigers. Zollinger back to pass. He was in shotgun. He throws. It is too high for Davis Hall on a comeback route at the 10-yard line. It would have been enough for the first down, but it's too high and incomplete.
What matters there, though, John, is they didn't turn the ball over, right? That's what I was trying to say on first down, was what matters is protecting the ball because you're well within Erickson's range. A field goal here puts you up a touchdown, so you wanted to protect that ball. So I think, all things considered, Skyview does come out of this pretty well.
So they spot it down for a 37-yard field goal attempt. The hold is good, no rush at all, and Erickson drills it right down the middle. That was good from about 47, but he drills it from 37 with 46 seconds on the clock. We'll keep it here. So Skyview extends the lead 10-3 now with that 37-yard field goal. Hurricane got the field goal from 22 yards out. The Bobcats respond with a 37-yard field goal of their own, and they have the lead 10-3 with 46 seconds left.
Yeah, I think that's a good drive. Even though you only come away with 3 points on that, that's a big 3 points. After Hurricane goes down and puts 3 on the board, you come right back and put another 3. Being up 7 definitely matters.
So that was a 12-play drive that started at their own 16, and it chewed up, let's see, 4 minutes and 12 seconds.
Heavy dose of Reed Wild on that, too. I mean, he had 18 yards rushing on that. He had right around 21 yards receiving on the drive as well.
So Skyview to kick off after the field goal, and Erickson boots that one, and he boots it basically in the same place that the field goal went. It's in the end zone. So with 46 seconds left, 10-3 Skyview with the lead. Hurricane, we'll see what they do. They only have one timeout. They'll start at their own 20. Skyview will start with the ball to start the second half.
I would imagine Hurricane's going to be content to go down only 7 to the defending back-to-back state champs on the road
for
at
sure.
halftime.
For sure they would. So the ball's spotted. They want it on the hash mark, so it goes to the left hash mark.
That's a little peculiar, though, that they wanted it over there. It makes you wonder if they are trying to set up some type of double pass or something.
Well, with Ashby, you probably just roll out right. If right, yep, R.J. Wright's lining up on that right side, the wide side of the field.
Jackson is on the other side, so that's perfect.
Well, and Skyview's had so many pass interferences, you might as well try it. Under center's Ashby on 1st and 10. He fumbles.
Ball down.
He fumbles, and Skyview uses one of their 2 timeouts. Coach Howell was right there. Hurricane fell on the ball, but Ashby, as he went to get the ball, it was fumbled, and he just pounced on it. So they dodge a bullet there, because if Skyview recovers that, Rex, with 2 timeouts, then with about 40 seconds left, they're right in the red zone already.
Yeah, already within Erickson's range.
At least, and you can go to the end zone, so no gain there. Timeout again by Coach Howell. And as we mentioned, the winner of this game will move on to the second round and be at Dixie. Dixie's the 4 seed, so no matter who wins this game, the Skyview 5 seed or Hurricane, the 12 seed, will have to travel to Dixie next week.
A lot less of a travel for Hurricane than
yes.
it is for Skyview.
So big play coming up here. Skyview has one more timeout, so one game has gone. Logan went to half now. Logan leads Cedar 26-17 at Crimson Field in
That's a pretty
Logan.
good matchup there.
Isn't
that a 4-5 right
10-7.
there? 10-7, okay.
Yeah,
way
7
off.
seed Logan, 10 seed Cedar. So second down, we'll see what Ashby does in the shotgun. Different formation now. Ashby takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Stubbs. Stubbs is stacked up and somehow spun free. And now another timeout with 36 seconds. And I like this from Coach Howell because you don't have another timeout, but you might as well make them snap it.
Right, especially after they fumbled the first down snap. I mean, force these guys to do something here. You know, there could be a bad handoff exchange. You could miss it from center to quarterback like what happened last time. So it's I like the the timeout call as well.
And again at halftime, because it was Skyview had the lightning delay on senior night versus Green Canyon a couple weeks ago, they already honored the senior football players. At halftime, the band will play, so we'll have an extended halftime show, but it'll be a little bit longer. But the marching band for Skyview will perform at halftime. We'll have some stats. We'll also talk about something that's pretty cool here at Skyview High School. They had, I think, I didn't count them, but we're going to 14 or 16 academic all-state student athletes that we're going to give them recognition and talk about them and the sports that they play in. Also coming up, we'll kind of give you a rundown on what's going on in high school sports here at Skyview. So 3rd down and 6 from their own 24. No timeouts for Skyview, 36 seconds on the clock, 10-3 Skyview. They're just going to hand it off. That's Stubbs, and he's tackled. So it'll be a loss of 2, and I think the clock will run and just get us into the half, Rex.
Yeah, and man, Kimball Jackson shed the blocker almost instantly and then just got one hand there on Stubbs and brought him down. But, yeah, that should take us into half. And, I mean, honestly, John, if you're Hurricane and you're down 7 to the back-to-back defending state champs at half, I think you got to feel pretty good about yourself.
So that's going to do it for the half as time expires. It's Skyview 10, Hurricane 3. So we're going to step aside, and when we come back, we will have our halftime show, and that's coming up next. Thanks for listening to 1390 AM, 106.9 FM, The Fan.
Storms of change. Your employees have adapted to work from, well, anywhere. And you deserve an office technology partner that helps make your hybrid office the very best it can be. You deserve the latest laptops and desktops, the very best printers and copiers, the most robust network. You've gotten back to business. Now get back to greatness with Les Olson Company. Find out more at lesolson.com.
Les Olson Company.
If you're in the market for exterior building supplies, you should always go with a company you trust. Coldwater Stone in Tremonton, a division of Castellite in Logan, is a company you can trust. Coldwater Stone specializes in cutting and shaping beautiful natural stone into thin veneers that can be used on wall surfaces, walkways, and more. Coldwater Stone in Tremonton has quickly become the industry leader for natural stone products. Stop into the Tremonton facility or see samples at Castellite in Logan. More information at www.coldwaterstone.com.
Coldwater Stone, a natural choice for all your stone needs.
Your Cache and Box Elder County McDonald's are proud to support local high school athletics and wish all the local teams the best of luck this season. Your local McDonald's is hiring. Work for McDonald's and let McDonald's work for you. Enjoy flexible hours, tuition reimbursement for continuing education, plus meals and other perks. Management positions are available. Apply at careers.mcdonalds.com today. That's careers.mcdonalds.com. Or apply in person. McDonald's and its franchisees are equal opportunity employers committed to a diverse and inclusive workforce.
It's back to school time. You're getting the clothes and the supplies, but don't forget the haircut. The students at New Horizons Beauty College are trained in all the latest trends and techniques. Plus, New Horizons has great prices on the products to help you maintain that new look, like Redken, Matrix, Biolage, and Bricado. All services performed by students and closely supervised by licensed instructors. Oh, hey, they're also enrolling for fall classes right now. Create your own individuality at New Horizons Beauty College in Logan.
The Karen Nielsen Guild Mortgage Team will help you find the loan to fit your life. Guild Mortgage offers hundreds of loan products for a wide variety of borrowers, including first-time home buyers, military families, and rural residents. Guild Mortgage also offers many state, county, and city housing programs that provide down payment assistance. At Guild, they work hard to deliver what matters most to you with a loan that fits your life. Call 435-294-2480 or Google Karen at Guild Mortgage, NMLS 3274 and 80226, Equal Housing Lender.
Thank you for voting Adams Wealth Advisors the gold winner for Best Financial Planner in the Best of Northern Utah competition. Understanding your family, jobs, and goals is how Adams Wealth Advisors will continue to earn your trust.
This is Craig Adams. At Adams Wealth Advisors, we are here to help you receive peace of mind whether you've done a lot of planning or a little planning. Count on our team at Adams Wealth Advisors for honesty, professionalism, and integrity.
Visit adamswealthadvisors.com or call 752-1702 to schedule a time with an advisor today. Please see adamswealthadvisors.com for more information on these recent awards.
Great bass and graphics. We made you look for quality screen printing, embroidery, and design. What's important to you is important to us. We love what we do, and it shows every time.
Welcome back to Skyview High School. 10-3, the Skyview Bobcats lead the Hurricane Tigers here in the 4A state playoffs, the first round of the 4A state playoffs. John Newbold, Rex Davis here with you. Thank you for joining us here on 106.9 FM, 1390 AM, or if you're watching the video stream on CacheValleyDaily.com, your video experience powered by Adams Wealth Advisors. So again, Skyview with the lead 10-3. That game is at halftime here, and there's other scores going on. The ones that we do have, Logan leading Cedar at the half, 26-17. Dixie and Bear River are playing down in St. George, and Dixie leads 34-7. The winner of that game will play the winner of this game at Dixie next Friday. Those are the scores that we do have, and Rex, you've got some first half stats for us.
Yeah, super unofficial, but so far I have Garrett Zollinger, 115 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. As far as rushing goes, Davis Hall had the 1 carry for 11. Reed Wild has 18 yards rushing. Moser has 41 on the ground. And then we did have Garrett Zollinger with 5 yards rushing is what he ended up with, positive. We do have Jackson Sundstrom with the interception defensively for the Bobcats. Speaking of Sundstrom, he had a 16-yard touchdown reception as well on the previous offensive possession to the interception. We got number 9, Jackson Foster, 15 yards receiving. Reed Wild, 23 yards receiving. Davis Hall has 27 at the half. Truman Moser, 12 receiving, and 22 yards receiving for Cole Watterson at halftime for the Bobcats.
One other thing, first downs in the first half, Skyview's dominated with 11 first downs in the first half. Hurricane with 4, 3 of them came on that one drive. They got 3 of them via the Skyview penalty, 3 pass interference.
That's so wild.
It is. Both teams haven't played a clean first half, as Skyview, as we've mentioned, have thrown 2 interceptions, and Hurricane has thrown like 4 interceptions, but only one of them is counted, as Jackson Sundstrom got one on Hurricane's 3rd possession. Ashby threw, and Jackson Sundstrom made the interception there.
Yeah, he would have 2 if it weren't for the PI calls. They're just, I don't know. I feel like Skyview's just not. They don't look that pretty on defense, right? They keep making penalties. But speaking of looking pretty, if you need a new haircut, new hairstyle, new hair color, or new manicure, visit New Horizons Beauty College in Logan.
So the Skyview Bobcats lead 10-3 at the half, and like we mentioned, it's an extended half because Skyview wasn't able to have they had a lightning delay a couple weeks ago on senior night, and so they just kind of didn't get to honor the seniors, and so the marching band on senior night always plays, and so they're out there right now, and you can see on our video stream on CashValleyDaily.com, that's the Skyview Marching Band. We'll let you listen to a little bit of that right now. Again, we're here at Skyview, first round of the 4A state playoffs. Just to give you a little flavor, that was the Skyview Marching Band. Just wanted to let you listen in on all the hard work that they've put in this season and this year so far, as the Skyview Marching Band is out there performing here at halftime. Skyview with the lead here in the first round of the playoffs, 10-3 over Hurricane. We're going to step aside, and when we come back, we'll talk about all the different sports here at Skyview, and we'll go through that academic all-state of all the athletes here at Skyview High School. Again, it's 10-3, Skyview with the lead over Hurricane.
This is Judd with ARS Flood and Fire Cleanup. It's late at night, the weekend, or a holiday. You've just discovered your basement is flooded. Where are you going to find help right now? At ARS, we can take your call 24 hours a day, and when these disasters happen, we can have a flood team to your home within 30 minutes. We are also the insurance claim experts. When disaster overwhelms you, let ARS restore your peace of mind. Call 753-9600 or go to our website at arscleanup.com.
At Cache Valley Auto Care, you'll find all the expertise you need to take care of your car, from advanced diagnostics and major repairs to oil changes, tires, brakes, and maintenance. You can count on Cache Valley Auto Care to tell you what needs fixing now and what stuff can wait. So whether your check engine light just went on or it's time for an oil change, now is the time to head over to Cache Valley Auto Care. Because when your car isn't working right, you just need someone who can help make your life a little easier. Cache Valley Auto Care, behind Home Depot on 200 East, 1175 North.
When it's important to make an impression, call on the Logo Shop. They specialize in designing and customizing your logo onto t-shirts, golf shirts, jackets, and hats. Your logo will look great on name brand apparel from Nike, TravisMathew, OGIO, North Face, Under Armour, and Carhartt. The Logo Shop can put your logo on literally thousands of items: pens, water bottles, mugs, travel accessories, outdoor gear like Yeti coolers. Call on the Logo Shop and check out the possibilities.
The Logo Shop, the logo stuff, the Logo Shop.
This is the season to stock up on oil and filters. It's the Fall Napa Gold Filter Sale at all 5 Cache Valley Napa Auto Parts stores. Napa Synthetic Blend Oil, $1.99 a quart. Seafoam Fuel Additive, $5.99 a can. Napa 15W40, $9.99 a gallon. Chevron Delo 15W40, $11.99 a gallon. These specials and a whole lot more during the Napa Gold Filter Sale now through September 15th at your 5 locally owned Preston to Providence Napa Auto Parts stores.
Napa know-how. Napa know-how. Jessup Insurance and Retirement Services. Let us guide you.
Do you have retirement questions about financial planning and investing, Medicare, estate planning, or complex tax strategies? Jessup Insurance can answer those questions. Let Jessup Insurance guide you into a better retirement. Call Jessup Insurance 435-213-3200 or Google Jessup Insurance.
Jessup Insurance and Retirement Services. Let us guide you.
Sack lunch, picnic lunch, business lunch. There's nothing better or more satisfying than the lunch special at Old Grist Mill. It's lunch the way Mother Nature intended. All natural bread, the perfect amount of meat, veggies to your liking. And then it only gets better with your choice of a fresh-baked cookie, chips, and drink. You know what we're talking about, that famous Old Grist Mill lunch special. Get your made-to-order special at the South Logan, and now Smithville locations. Old Grist Mill, here for you.
And I know she'll be the death of me, at least we'll both be numb. And she'll always get the best of me, the worst is yet to come. But at least
it's halftime here in Smithfield. First round of the 4A state playoffs, 10-3, Skyview leading the Hurricane Tigers. And as we go through some notes here at halftime, again, if you're watching on CacheValleyDaily.com, the video stream, your video experience is powered by Adams Wealth Advisors. You'll be hearing and seeing in the background the Skyview Marching Band as they're performing here at halftime. But we wanted to talk about some of the other things going on at Skyview High School. It's not just about football. They're student athletes, and Skyview with these following players with the academic all-state, that means that they're extremely smarter than Rex and myself. I think
More
is what more smartest is what it means.
Yes.
Academic all-state. But in football, Davis Hall and Kaysen Erickson are both academic all-states. In boys golf, Chandler Luthi. Girls tennis, Skyview's represented with Emily Ryan, Gracie Davis, Kaya Christiansen, Rachel Chipman are all academic all-state in girls tennis. In girls soccer, Annika McCullough, Hannah Womack, Jada Westover. And in girls cross country, Kaylee Grigg. In volleyball, you had Abigail Doxey, Caitlin May, and Kelsey Spackman. And represented from the boys cross country team, Dylan Mortensen and Rome Greenman are all academic all-state. So congratulations to all those student athletes, because I mean,
That's so impressive.
It really is. I mean, it's one thing to get good grades and not have something going on outside of the classroom. And these individuals, all of them are able to do that and get honored for Academic All-State. So that's congratulations to all of them.
Yeah, really impressive.
Also, other things going on. Girls tennis, they had their season completed a few weeks ago, but girls soccer, they just completed their season. Unfortunately, it's usually going to come with a loss unless you're the champion.
Yeah.
They made it to the semifinals. They had a rough start to region, but they finished off the season great with 6 straight wins, trying to make it 7. They went up against the #1 Crimson Cliff Mustangs yesterday at Juan Diego High School. They ended up going into a shootout, and they lost the shootout. Skyview did, unfortunately. So Crimson Cliffs will be playing Mountain Crest, actually, the way it turns out. But that's girls soccer. With volleyball, the state championships will start at UVU next Wednesday. So Skyview will be down there. I believe they're around 4 o'clock. I don't have a bracket in front of me, and Ryan Grunig told me, the athletic director, and I have already forgotten.
The fact that you're not reading this, you're just remembering everything you're saying. That alone is impressive. It's not like you're reading what happened in the girls' soccer game. You just know it. That's what amazes me.
But so volleyball next Wednesday. All the Region 11, the Valley teams will be down there. So let's get a good crowd down there, whether you're a Mountain Crest Mustang, Ridgeline Riverhawk, Logan Grizzly, Skyview Bobcat, Green Canyon Wolf. Get down there and support the Valley teams down at UVU. I think they start at 4 o'clock and 7 o'clock are some of the matches next Wednesday, if I remember what Grunig told me. So that's with volleyball. Also going on, boys basketball and girls basketball will get their season started in November. I know the boys' schedule. I don't have the girls' schedule in front of me, but the boys, well, I don't have the boys in front of me either, but November 20th or 21st, they start the season at Weber, and of course we'll have all the coverage on the Fan, 1390 AM, 106.9 FM. Also, we will be streaming those games as well on CacheValleyDaily.com. So keep that in your calendars, as we'll have high school basketball coming up November 20th, I think, or 21st at Weber. The boys basketball program will be on the road to start things off. They'll be in a tournament in December against down at Davis High School against some northern Utah teams like Woods Cross and such. So that should be a fun tournament. 3-day tournament as well, and so we'll keep that. And of course, always listen to the Full Court Press with Eric Franson, Ajay Salveson on the Fan, because they'll talk more about that season, and of course the football playoffs coming up the next couple of weeks here. Also, one other thing that we need to let you know, a programming note with the Fan, Rex, tomorrow night, the football doesn't stop.
Never stops.
The Fan is your sports leader in the Cache Valley. College football tomorrow night, Ohio State and Indiana get underway. We'll have coverage of that game around 5 p.m. And then NFL on Sunday, the only undefeated team, the Arizona Cardinals, at 1:45. And it slipped my mind who they're playing.
I know. I was just trying to think who they're playing.
I got to think my fantasy football team.
Isn't it the Texans?
You're right.
Yeah.
Arizona Cardinals and the Houston Texans. We'll have coverage of that game starting at 1:45, and you can find all that sports coverage right here on the Fan, 1390 AM and 106.9 FM. Both teams are back on the field as we're going to step aside again and get closer to the second half. Again, the Skyview Bobcats lead the Hurricane Tigers 10-3. Here in Smithfield.
This has weathered the storms of change. Your employees have adapted to work from, well, anywhere. And you deserve an office technology partner that helps make your hybrid office the very best it can be. You deserve the latest laptops and desktops, the very best printers and copiers, the most robust network. You've gotten back to business. Now get back to greatness with Les Olson Company. Find out more at lesolson.com.
Les Olson Company.
If you're in the market for exterior building supplies, you should always go with a company you trust. Coldwater Stone in Tremonton, a division of Castellite in Logan, is a company you can trust. Coldwater Stone specializes in cutting and shaping beautiful natural stone into thin veneers that can be used on wall surfaces, walkways, and more. Coldwater Stone in Tremonton has quickly become the industry leader for natural stone products. Stop into the Tremonton facility or see samples at Castellite in Logan. More information at www.coldwaterstone.com.
Coldwater Stone, a natural choice for all your stone needs.
Your Cache and Box Elder County McDonald's are proud to support local high school athletics and wish all the local teams the best of luck this season. Your local McDonald's is hiring. Work for McDonald's and let McDonald's work for you. Enjoy flexible hours, tuition reimbursement for continuing education, plus meals and other perks. Management positions are available. Apply at careers.mcdonalds.com today. That's careers.mcdonalds.com. Or apply in person. McDonald's and its franchisees are equal opportunity employers committed to a diverse and inclusive workforce.
Welcome back to Skyview High School. 10-3, Skyview with the lead over Hurricane. We're about underway here for the second half. John Newbold, Rex Davis with you. Want to thank Dallin back in studio keeping us on the air. We appreciate all he's doing there. And Rex, Skyview will start with the ball in the second half. What does Skyview need to do to extend this lead? Because they did not play, in our opinion, it was probably one of the worst halves of Skyview football we've seen this season.
Right, and how fortunate are they to have a 7-point lead after that, though? I mean, if we would have drawn a team like Dixie or something like that to go right off the bat against, this would be a lot different story that we're telling right now. But I think the obvious answer, John, is clean it up, right?
Yeah.
Like, no more pass interference penalties. That's the biggest thing. This offense for Hurricane is stagnant.
Yeah, we totaled up the yards. It's about 80 yards in penalty yardage.
Yeah, about 80 yards in penalties. You have given Hurricane the length of a football field almost for free, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they need to stop with the penalties, the holdings, the pass interference calls. We even had a couple personal fouls that were called on Skyview.
Well, and even like there was the one play where Reed Wild, just the lineup, they weren't sure where they were supposed to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to pick on Reed, but like the Skyview offense, they just weren't even sure where they were lining up right.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's just been kind of a sloppy game from Skyview. So I think the most obvious, quickest answer I have for you, John, is just clean it up and put this team away. You have a team in the Hurricane Tigers who really shouldn't be hanging with you, and you're giving them every opportunity to hang with you. So I think they need to just come out here, put some points on the board, opening drive, and then put this thing away as the game progresses.
So right to kick off for Hurricane, and they pooch it up and over the first line of defense, and it goes out of bounds. So Skyview will start at the 35. They did not want to kick to Cole Watterson.
I don't blame them.
Now, Cole Watterson did have a touchdown, kickoff return for a touchdown a couple games ago. So,
yeah, Cole Watterson is an electric player. He's a stud, and Wright doesn't quite have the leg like a Kaysen Erickson to just punch that thing out of the end zone. So if he does kick that thing deep, he's basically handing it to the most electric player on Skyview and saying, okay, here you go. Let's see if we can stop you. So, honestly, kicking out of bounds isn't ideal, but you never know. That might end up being better for Hurricane.
Well, he may not have tried to kick it out of bounds. Maybe he's just trying to get it over the wall, but it did go out. So Skyview starts with the ball on the left hash, going left to right on your radio dial towards the south. 3 receivers to the wide side of the field for Zollinger on first down. He's going to throw it out there to Davis Hall. Hall gets around 1 defender, now 2, and then he's up across the 40. Got a decent block from Kimball Jackson, but Davis Hall up to the 42. So a 7-yard pass play on first down.
My question is, as I was looking down and back up, was that a forward pass?
Yes. I'm going to call it a forward pass just because I wasn't sure.
You call it that, I call it that.
2nd down and 3. Just because I'm not sure, that's why I called it a pass. It could have been a lateral. That's true.
I think it was.
Okay. So 2nd down and 3. Zollinger's going to pitch it out to Wild. Has to break a tackle in the backfield. He's upfield for a first down near midfield, depending on the spot. that pitch play, but that time Hurricane recognized the pitch play,
Yeah.
Rex, but somehow he got upfield to the 50.
Yeah, you're like you said, John, they absolutely recognized the play, but they weren't able to do anything about it.
Another 7-yard rush, this time by Wild. Brings it to midfield, 1st and 10 Skyview. Opening drive of the second half, a minute into the second half, 10-3 Skyview. Zollinger moves the running back onto his right hip. It's going to be Wild. He gets the handoff, tries to break it outside and can't do it. Great play by number 16 was there, Kellen Pledger, and I think it was number 2. I think it was Ephraim Johnson again.
I think if you see a tackle for Hurricane, just say Ephraim Johnson because that kid flies to the ball.
Yeah, Ephraim Johnson's been all over for the Tigers, senior linebacker. They actually gave him a 1-yard rush to the 49, so they're in Tiger territory. 3 receivers to the right, empty backfield, 2 to the left. Zollinger's going to pass out there to Truman Moser, complete, and he's dragging a defender near the first down marker as he stretches forward all the way to the 41 as he drug a defender 2 yards.
Yeah.
So
just
from
leg strength. That's what that was. Just pure leg strength.
That's a terrible spot. They mark him back. They mark him back at the 43-yard line. He stretched forward to the 41. That's a horrible spot by the officials. Only a 6-yard gain. That was horrible. My goodness. Moser, they'll bring up 3rd and short. They hand it off. Big hole on the right side, and it's Moser who got the first down as a Hurricane defender is down at the 40-yard line. He's not moving. Now he's starting to move a little bit. Hopefully he's okay. They're going to mark Moser down at the 40 or 33, so he gets 10 yards for a first, but there is an injury down on the field. So Moser made up for it on that rush. So 10-3 Skyview, 9:38 in the third quarter. We're going to step aside for 30 seconds during this injury. We'll be back right after this.
It's back to school time. You're getting the clothes and the supplies, but don't forget the haircut. The students at New Horizons Beauty College are trained in all the latest trends and techniques. Plus, New Horizons has great prices on the products to help you maintain that new look, like Redken, Matrix, Biolage, and Bricado. All services performed by students and closely supervised by licensed instructors. Oh, hey, they're also enrolling for fall classes right now. Create your own individuality at New Horizons Beauty College in Logan.
10-3 Skyview. The injured defender was Carter Ashby, but he got up on his own, I guess, energy and got off the field okay, so I'm not sure what the injury was, just a stinger. So 1st and 10 Skyview at the Hurricane 33. Zollinger in shotgun. He's going to hand it off to Truman Moser. No, he keeps it himself. He throws it to Kimball Jackson. It's complete to the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5.
It's going to come back.
And another crackback block as Kimball Jackson got into the end zone, as there's 3 penalty markers out there.
If I'm Kimball Jackson, I'm putting that on my huddle either way.
And
okay, we got a kid that's woozy out there.
Yeah, well, that's Ephraim Johnson. As he got the crackback block, they called it. 3 penalty markers came out. I didn't see who made the block.
I missed it as well. I was following the ball.
Yeah, just a little drag route to Kimball Jackson. He got into the end zone, I think, but now Ephraim Johnson is down. So 15-yard penalty, and it's going to be, let's see, they're going to say it was at the 25-yard line.
That's one of those plays, too, when you see the kid get up, and you can just tell, right?
Yeah.
You can just tell something's not right.
Yeah, Coach Ashby told him to get down on the ground.
Yeah, he needs to. He was stumbling. His arms are swinging. And what a huge loss that is, because we were talking about just how great Ephraim Johnson has been in this game.
I'll tell you what, Skyview, they have just shot themselves in the foot. There has been so many 15-yard penalties, personal fouls with crackback blocks, pass interferences. The good news is Ephraim Johnson is walking off on his own power, but
that's just such a big loss, though. I mean, I don't expect Ephraim to come back into this game after that, but man, without a question, from what I've seen in this game at least, that's the defensive leader.
So the Coach Ashby was talking to the head official. He was telling him that he wanted a targeting. He wanted him, whoever the Skyview player was, he wanted him ejected. He wasn't animated. He was just telling the official, hey, that's the targeting. He motioned a headshot. So it's 1st and 17 for the Bobcats back at the 40. 3 receivers to the left.
What a play, though, by Kimball Jackson to just get negated like that.
Zollinger's going to roll left. Now he throws on the run. It's complete. I think that's Hall. Makes a move. He's up for the first down to the 21-yard line. So an 22-yard line. So an 18-yard pass play for the first down. It was just a little 5-yard route, Rex, on the outside, a comeback route, and then he took it a lot of yards after the catch there.
That's what it's about, though, John, is just getting the ball in your playmaker's hands. Davis Hall is a playmaker, right? So you get the ball in his hands, and he takes off and does the rest.
1st and 10 from the Tigers' 22-yard line. Zollinger in shotgun. Going to hand it off to Wild. Wild busts it outside. He's going to look for the edge. He gets some blocks. He's around to the 15, the 10, the 5, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown, I believe. Yes, it is, from 22 yards out. That play was supposed to go up the middle, Rex, but Reed Wild bumped it outside and got the edge and got into the end zone from 22 yards on the 7th play of the drive.
And we have to give Cole Watterson and Kimball Jackson credit because both of those kids had the potential to make a crackback block on that play. Both of them, when you go back to CashValleyDaily.com and watch this, you're going to see both of those players put their hands in the air and then go make the block. Obviously, Coach Howell said no more crackback blocks, so those 2 kids just put their hands up and blocked that way.
Extra point, Hall puts it down, Erickson puts it through. And so it's 17-3 with 8:17 in the third quarter, Skyview with a lead. And we're going to take a break and be back right after this.
The Karen Nielsen Guild Mortgage Team will help you find the loan to fit your life. Guild Mortgage offers hundreds of loan products for a wide variety of borrowers, including first-time home buyers, military families, and rural residents. Guild Mortgage also offers many state, county, and city housing programs that provide down payment assistance. At Guild, they work hard to deliver what matters most to you with a loan that fits your life. Call 435-294-2480 or Google Karen at Guild Mortgage. NMLS 3274 and 80226, Equal Housing Lender.
I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn
Skyview with the lead, 17-3 over Hurricane. The kick is away by Erickson after the 22-yard rushing touchdown by Reed Wild. And the ball goes into the end zone. It'll be 1st and 10 for Hurricane from their own 20.
That's what Skyview had to do, though, right? They had to come out and put some points up. That was one of the things we were talking about coming out of halftime, was putting points up on that opening drive. The one thing they didn't do great was keep it clean, though, right? They did still have penalties. So hopefully we see as this game progresses on, Skyview clean those mistakes up.
That was a 7-play drive that was capped off. They started at their own 35, and it was capped off with that 22-yard touchdown. We'll see if Ashby comes back. He did get dinged. We'll see if he's in there. Yeah, he's in there, so that's nice to see. So Wright goes out to the outside, the big, tall receiver, as the shadows start to come down over the field here at Skyview. Ashby under center on 1st and 10. Takes the snap. He's going to turn around, hand it off, and Skyview hits him at the line of scrimmage, but he falls forward for a yard. I believe that was Stubbs.
Yeah, it was, and Cam Carling came up and made that stop for the Bobcats.
So a 1-yard rush for Stubbs brings up 2nd down and 9. Actually, they gave him 2 yards. He did fall forward, so we'll give him 2 yards. So 2nd down and 8 at the 22, their own 22.
You almost wonder, too, when is Hurricane going to take a shot, right? When are they going to have R.J. Wright out there in single coverage and take a shot at him?
So Stubbs is in the backfield there with Ashby, the quarterback, in shotgun on 2nd down. He takes a snap. Ashby's going to roll out. Maybe he's looking for Wright now. He throws for Wright. It is incomplete. It was juggled. Cole Watterson was there in coverage and kind of jarred it loose. but Wright was right there. It hit him in stride. That was a nice throw by Ashby, but it goes incomplete.
It was. That was a really good ball. And I mean, right on cue, wasn't it? When are they going to take a shot for Wright? And they did. And man, Ashby put that thing right where he needed to. You gotta think, though, Watterson probably had something to do with that thing falling incomplete, though, as there was a little hand fighting on the way to the ground.
So we do have a score update. This score update brought to you by ARS. Got a mess? Call ARS. This score update brought to you by them. 41-7 to start the fourth quarter. Dixie all over Bear River. So Dixie will be hosting the winner of this game. And it's 17-3 here. Skyview with the lead over Hurricane. 7:27 in the third. Ashby sends a man in motion. He's going to do a fly sweep, but they call it, they blow the play dead. It's going to be a false start, I believe, on Hurricane. The man in motion was Hunter Prince.
Yeah, and that's been Hurricanes. If we were to pick on them for having some sloppy plays, that would be their kryptonite in this game. Would be the false start penalties.
Yeah, they've had a couple today, and that one was a false start. It will knock it back to their 17-yard line. So bring up 3rd and 13 at their own 17. 7:26 in the third quarter. 17-3 Skyview. If Skyview can get a stop here, get the ball back, they'd have pretty decent field position, as Hurricane's kicker hasn't had the best kicks today when he has punted. So Ashby in shotgun. Wright is in motion this time. They fake the handoff to White, and oh, what a move! As Stubbs just tossed a Skyview defender in the backfield, said, "Get off of me," and gets right up to the 25 as he just threw him off. He'll be shy of the first down. He actually gets to the 26, a 9-yard rush that time.
Big run by Stubbs on the play, and another Hurricane player down. It's Stubbs that's down.
Well, he did a great job in the backfield as he threw a Skyview defender off of him in the backfield and got upfield, but now he's kind of grabbing his leg.
Kimball Jackson was hobbled up on that play as well for Skyview.
Yeah, he kind of hopped off the field, and now I think that could be cramping. He's down on the sideline laying down. That's Kimball Jackson. Now Stubbs is up.
That's good. I mean,
and he's okay. He's walking
Stubbs
off.
Looks all right.
So, and yeah, they're still working on Kimball Jackson. Now Kimball Jackson, he's been out. Earlier in the season with an injury, as they're going to have to probably move him off the sideline and put him on the table, but we'll see. So a 4th down and 4 as we're back in action here at the 26-yard line. The punter comes on for Hurricane. Davis Hall set to return. He's standing at his own 48.
He's very shallow. Davis Hall is showing zero respect to this punt.
Yeah, now he backs up to his own 45, but the snap is back. The punt is on the way. It's actually the best punt of the day. It drives Davis Hall back to his own 35, and he can't get away. Great coverage there by Hurricane as Davis Hall gets knocked down at the 30. The best punt of the day, and you, just as you said it, Davis didn't think he could punt it that far because he hadn't shown it, and just as he scoots up, he has to backpedal all the way back to the 35, and then he's knocked back at the 32-yard line. Davis Hall did a great job tracking that punt down. He just couldn't get away from that first defender.
Yeah, he did, and that punter finally gets a hold of one, though, right? He just drives Davis Hall back, and that was a great job there by the punter.
Yeah, if you're a punt returner, you got to have, you got to be brave. You got to be
absolutely
nails, and Davis was to go back and get that. And still, if he breaks that tackle, we know how fast he is. So 6:47 in the third quarter, 17-3 Skyview, 1st and 10 from their own 32-yard line. Zollinger in kind of a pistol formation, hands it off. No, he's going to pass out there. It's complete. Gets outside, a nice stiff arm to the 40, the 45. Is that Foster?
Yeah.
Jackson Foster with a great stiff arm, and it's got the first down up to the 46-yard line. A 14-yard pass play.
Really nice play after the catch there by Foster, because, that's a quick little hitter, but then Foster just turns it on, throws a stiff arm, and gets that first down.
Yeah, probably a 5-yard pass play, and then he turned 9 yards of yak after that.
Yak.
The yards after the carry, right? Or yards after catch.
Yeah.
So clock running at 6:15, 1st and 10. Hand off to Moser on the left side. He's got the edge. He's up to midfield. He hasn't been touched yet. And now he's bumped out of bounds in Hurricane territory near the first down markers, depending on the spot. Oh, they actually said he stepped out of bounds near the 46, 47 on the far side of the field out there.
That was patient running by Moser.
So 7-yard play. It'll be 2nd and 3 for the Bobcats. Moser in the backfield with Zollinger. 2 receivers on this right side. The west side of the field, as the shadows have covered all of the field now as the sun goes down and the lights are on here in the stadium. Ball's on the left hash. Zollinger takes the snap. He's going to hand it off. Big hole on the right side. Moser, he's busting free to the 35, still on his feet. And he's pushed backwards as he got near the 33-yard line. So another run from the 47 all the way to the 37.
Big play there by Moser. Man, he just had his legs churning and able to get another first down for the Bobcats.
Yeah, 14 yards to the 33.
So Skyview coming out here. They're going to switch Reed Wild into the backfield now.
So 14-yard rush. 4th play of the drive coming up. It started at their own 32. Skyview's had 3 plays, 2 first downs, only 1 play under 10 yards so far on this drive. Zollinger running the pitch option. He's going to run up the field as the option wasn't there, and he's stacked up at the 25-yard line from the 33. 8-yard rush by Zolly.
Right read there by Zollinger. He wanted to flip that thing to Reed Wild, but he made the perfect call there and kept that thing and gets a nice 8-yard gain there for the Bobcat offense.
They actually mark it back, so
went back a yard.
So handoff on 2nd down, and it's Wild this time as he's running Wild into the secondary inside the 20-yard line.
Look at the offensive line, John. Look how far down the field they are. They are 12 yards down the field blocking.
So from the 33-yard line, Wild gets to the 26-yard line, a 7-yard play for first down. 6th play of the drive coming up. 4:45 on the clock, 17-3 Skyview looking to tack on some more. Winner of this game will face the winner of Dixie and Bear River, and Dixie is all over Bear River. Zollinger on the option. He's going to pitch it this time to Wild. Wild has the edge, puts out a stiff arm, and he gets pushed out of bounds right at the sticks. It's on the far side of the field, so it's hard to tell where they mark him. But I think he's got a first down.
I think he does too. This glare through the press box.
Oh, they did. So an 11-yard rush down to the 6 for a first down. It'll be 1st and goal, Bobcats. This is a great drive that started at their own 32. 7th play of the drive coming up. 4:27 in the 3rd quarter. Zollinger in shotgun on 1st and goal from the 6. Handoff to Truman Moser. He bounces it outside and then tries to cut it up, but the linebacker right there stuffs him. Great job by Hurricane, as it looked like Moser, as he bounced it outside, might have the edge, but then they filled that really good.
Yeah, a few defenders over there for the Tigers. One of them was Torian Haynes that got over there to help on that tackle, but great pursuit there by the Tigers.
Torian Haynes, didn't he have one of the interceptions earlier for Hurricane?
Yep.
So Moser with a 1-yard rush. It'll be 2nd and goal at the 5.
Kimball Jackson's checking back into the game.
So they were working on his leg, but it looks to be okay as he's back into the game. 2nd and goal at the 5 for the Bobcats. 3:45 in the 3rd quarter. They lead by 14, 17-3. Zollinger in shotgun on the left hash. He's going to hand it off to Moser. No, he keeps it, and he tries to throw it, and he does. Incomplete. As he was trying to hit Davis Hall, I think they were trying to run that play for Kimball Jackson again as he fakes the handoff and then just kind of the drag route.
I think they were too, but the defensive end had him locked up on the play and he was unable to break free to go get that thing. I mean, I think they wanted to kind of reward him for that touchdown that he lost earlier in the game. They wanted to give him another one, but
so Kimball Jackson comes out, Brighton Williams comes in this time. Zollinger, because of his big frame, was able to get that pass off. 3rd down and goal at the 5. Moser on the left hip. Zollinger back to pass. He throws, it's knocked down by the defensive end. He jumped up and got it.
Yeah, that's Torian Haynes again.
So we'll bring 4th and goal up for the Bobcats, and they bring in Erickson for his 2nd field goal attempt. Now, I know that Erickson, if I can hurry and find it, what was he? Erickson, I know I wrote it down what he was with field goals in his career, but anyway.
You said top 25, right?
Yeah. I wanted to get it exact. So left hash, it's going to be about a 22-yard field goal attempt. Snap is back. The hold is down. Kick is on the way. It looks good, and it is good. So from 22 yards out, another field goal from Erickson, and Skyview extends their lead on a 10-play drive to extend the lead to 20-3. We'll take a break and be back right after this.
Thank you for voting Adams Wealth Advisors the gold winner for Best Financial Planner in the Best of Northern Utah competition. Understanding your family, jobs, and goals is how Adams Wealth Advisors will continue to earn your trust.
This is Craig Adams. At Adams Wealth Advisors, we are here to help you receive peace of mind whether you've done a lot of planning or a little planning. Count on our team at Adams Wealth Advisors for honesty, professionalism, and integrity.
Visit adamswealthadvisors.com or call 752-1702 to schedule a time with an advisor today. Please see adamswealthadvisors.com for more information on these recent awards.
20-3, Skyview taking care of business here in the first round of the playoffs against Hurricane. At least on that drive they did, Rex. We talked about in the second half that they needed to clean things up as they had a lot of penalties. And on that drive that started at their own 32, they had 4 first downs, and on a 10-play drive, they end up kicking a 22-yard field goal by Erickson to extend the lead to 20-3.
Yeah, and the biggest thing there was no turnover, no penalties that pushed him out of scoring position, and Zollinger could have probably taken that sack and been just fine, still within Erickson's range, but it ended up being a pretty clutch play, getting rid of the ball, not taking the loss, and then Erickson goes, puts 3 up through the uprights, and yeah, it seems to be starting to click for the Bobcats. This seems to be the Bobcats we know now.
3:29 on the third quarter clock, 20-3. Ashby takes the snap. They run a reverse with Stubbs. It was kind of a close proximity.
A weird reverse.
Yeah, they ran it to the short side of the field, and so there was nothing doing. They actually lose a yard. Is that a 2-yard loss?
Yeah, I mean,
back to the 18 or 19. They're just going to call it a 1-yard loss.
Reed Wild and Truman Moser were both there at the point of the handoff, and neither one of them moved once the first handoff happened. So when the second handoff happened, they were right there to make the tackle.
So we do have a score update we'll get to after this play. 2nd down and 11 from their own 19. Clock running under 3 minutes here in the third quarter. Skyview with a 20-3 lead. They run their fly sweep, trying to get to the corner. Skyview stretching it out, and it will be a short gain. Davis Hall knocked the ball free.
He punched the ball, yeah. He punched the ball out. But
well, they're going to say Hurricane got it.
They did. It was recovered by number 27. That's Charles McKay.
Hunter Prince came on the fly sweep. Skyview actually knocked him back to the 18, so they stringed that out. A good job, another 1-yard loss.
It started with Cole Watterson getting off a block, forcing him to go out. Then Carson Dunkley comes in pursuit and forces him to go even further out, and then Davis Hall meets him at the sideline and punches the ball out. That's just great team defense, which I believe Coach Howell was talking about before the game was a little bit of team defense is what he wanted to see.
2:05 in the third quarter. Big 3rd down and 12 here from their own 18 are the Tigers. Ashby in shotgun. Takes the snap. He's going to roll to the right side. He's still out there, still has the ball. Pursuit is coming now. He throws a bomb up top, and it is incomplete by Watterson knocking it out as they were looking for Wright. I'm looking for a penalty flag just because we've seen so many.
Yeah.
It's incomplete, so we'll bring up 4th down. Score updates brought to you by Cache Valley Auto Care. Read their online reviews and decide for yourself. Located behind Home Depot, it's Cache Valley Auto Care with these score updates. Logan leading Cedar 32-24 in the second half, and Dixie leading Bear River 41-14 with about 9 minutes left in that game. So back to punt on 4th and 12 is Hurricane. Davis Hall is near midfield. A good spiraling punt. Davis Hall receives it. Still running around. Now he's trying to get upfield, and he get tackled at the 46. Great coverage by Hurricane. I don't know if that's a penalty marker or if that was just a spot.
Yeah, it was. He threw a marker where it was caught and then a marker where he was tackled because it was behind.
So he caught it at the 48, trying to find some room, but it was just great coverage by Hurricane, and they knock him down at the 46, where Skyview will take over with 1:37 left in this third quarter.
Might be kind of weird to say, but one of the highlights for Hurricane has been their punt coverage. I mean, I feel like they've done really well on punt coverage.
Well, Davis Hall, we know he's fast, and he's a great weapon for the Skyview Bobcats. And I thought the sun was all the way down, but I was mistaken. It was just a big cloud.
Yeah.
So the sun's back out, so the shadows still remain on the field. 1st and 10 Skyview. They're going to run that pitch play to Wild on the left side. Now he cuts it upfield. He's to the 40, 35. He breaks free. He's on a foot race to the 20, 15, 10. Stiff arm 5. That should be a horse collar. They don't make the horse collar tackle, but he's inside the 5, down to the 3-yard line. What a run for the Bobcats from the 46-yard line of Skyview. So he gained, we'll have to get that.
Yeah, wow, just huge play there by Reed Wild, turning on the afterjets, getting all the way down there to set up a 1st and goal for the Bobcats. They go with tempo to Reed Wild and punches it in for the Skyview touchdown.
3 yards out, and he's in for the touchdown by Wild. What a play. So I'm going to try to figure this out during the break, but Skyview with 1:11 on the clock, that possession, 2 plays, 26 seconds off the clock, and it's 26-3. But he was at the 46 was the original line of scrimmage. So
okay, so from there to the end zone. Basically, I mean, he had 2 carries to get, and he got it into the end zone, right? So 54, right?
So 44 down to the 3. So that'd be another 7. So 51, I think, was the original run. I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So a 51-yard rush by Wild, and then they reward him with a 3-yard touchdown run as another defender for Hurricane is down. I hope it's just a cramp, but I can't tell. So 26-3 Skyview, and the way things are going here in the third quarter, it's starting to look like it's going to be a 4-5 matchup next Friday, Skyview at Dixie, as they lead big, over Bear River. Where we don't know, we believe it will be an afternoon game, so stay tuned to the full court press with Eric Franson and Ajay Salveson, 4 to 6 on the Fan, as they will talk about it, or you can visit CashValleyDaily.com. They'll update the brackets and when the games are, but I know it will be an afternoon game. I know Ryan Grunig, the athletic director at Skyview, shooting for an afternoon game. Usually in the playoffs, the athletic directors get together. They talk about what the best times would be to have a game, and then they go for them. And if they can't decide on something, the default time is 6 o'clock, so hopefully it's earlier than that for the Bobcats in the second round if this score holds. As the player for Hurricane limped off the field, it looks like he's going to be okay, but he is limping and he's got his helmet off. So we're awaiting the extra point after the 3-yard TD by Wild. Kason Erickson for that PAT, Davis Hall the holder. Snap is back, hold is down, kick is on the way, and it is good. So with 1:11 in the third quarter, it's 27-3 Skyview. We'll take a break and be back right after this. To 3, Reed Wild had a 51-yard rush and then a 3-yard carry into the end zone on first and goal to extend the lead to 27-3. The kickoff by Erickson goes into the end zone, and Rex is also our DJ tonight.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, I haven't heard that song for a long, long time.
I got you, John. I got some way back playbacks. I got everything in here.
We're taking requests as well, I guess.
Yeah, you can tweet John Newbold if you want a song on there, because I don't have a tweeter.
So 27-3, Skyview's taking control here in the third quarter, and it's exactly what we talked about at halftime, or what you talked about, Rex, is what Skyview needed to do.
Yeah, they had to come out. They had to. That score did not reflect the talent of these two teams. Skyview had to come out here, and they had to put some points up, and that's exactly what they've done in the second half.
Ashby in shotgun on 1st and 10. He's going to throw the ball, and it's wide and outside for an incomplete pass as he was trying to hit his receiver on a comeback route there on a little hitch. Again, stay tuned post-game as we will have our Old Grist Mill bread and butter play of the game. Your opportunity to win 4 loaves of bread from the Old Grist Mill. And you've got to go try their muffins, scones, bagels, cheese bread, sweet rolls baked fresh daily. They've got takeout, curbside pickup, and delivery available. Visit them in their locations on South Main or on 4th North or in Smithville, the Old Grist Mill. 109 in the third quarter, 27-3, 2nd and 10. Skyview leading here, and Hurricane with the ball. Ashby to throw. He throws. It is incomplete. The receiver.
Man, they are not on the same page.
Well, Ashby saw blitz by the Skyview linebackers, and so he wanted to go to the hot route.
Yep.
And the receiver was going long. So you're right. They weren't on the same page there.
Yeah, and that's what I was pointing at before the play. I was noticing, like, oh wow, Skyview's really showing blitz here. And they did send him, and Ashby saw the same thing and went for the hot read there, just like you said, though, John, fell incomplete.
Well, Skyview, that's one of the first times I've seen them rush up the middle today. They've really rushed on the edge, it seemed like, throughout the game. So 3rd and 10 after the incompletion for the Tigers. They trail 27-3. Bunch formation of 3 receivers on the wide side of the field. Really tight, though. Ashby's going to roll out that way. Wild out there. It's thrown. It's a great catch. A Great Basin made you look play there as he reached back behind him. The play was behind him. The pass was Torian Haynes with the catch. And he's down on the tackle.
That catch was amazing.
And he got the first down, a 10-yard pass play. But because of the way he went down, because he caught it from behind, Rex, I think that he went down awkwardly to the turf.
Yeah, and that's so unfortunate because that kid just went and gave everything he had to make that catch, and he ends up injured on the play. It's been a tough go for Hurricane today. They've had a really hard time with injuries.
The thing with Hurricane, they've had some injuries. The good news is every player, with the exception of Ephraim Johnson, had walked off on their own power.
Yeah, Ephraim was woozy.
He was woozy.
He was staggering and all over the place. So Ephraim wasn't quite able to go on his own. But yeah, you hope the best for these kids as Hurricane they just keep suffering from the injury bug.
Great Basin Graphics make you look play. We just saw one there with that catch. Come see Great Basin Graphics at 966 West, 400 North, Suite 15 in Logan. Great Basin Graphics is sure to make you look. They're a great sponsor of high school football here on The Fan. And, of course, if you're watching on the video stream on CashValleyDaily.com, that stream and video experience is powered by Adams Wealth Advisors. So he is limping off the field. Haynes, this is the second time I think that he's had to limp off the field, so he's playing through it, but a great catch on that play for the first down.
That was one that's worth going back to CashValleyDaily.com to watch a replay of.
And these games will always be on. We'll upload them, and you can watch them whenever you have a chance.
Doing that play where they switch Meacham in at quarterback.
So Meacham at quarterback, Ashby on the other side, empty backfield. Now Ashby goes behind him in motion. They pitch it back to Ashby. He's going to throw back, and it's knocked down by Kimball Jackson.
Yeah, that didn't fool him at all.
Well, he was throwing back to Meacham. The thing with that play with Ashby, I think it's a good play call, but to be quite honest, Ashby's 5'6", Kimball Jackson is not.
No,
and so
6+.
Yeah, and so when Kimball sees him throw, all he does is jump, and it hits him right in the chest.
That's the thing too, is he jumped and it hit him in the chest. Like,
yeah.
I mean, you described that perfect, John. I mean, Kimball Jackson has just been a menace this entire game, and he comes off the edge untouched, and we've seen variations that Hurricanes run of that play. It's just not working.
So 2nd and 10 from their own 30, 40 seconds in the third quarter. Skyview with a 27-3 lead. Ashby in shotgun, hands it off to Stubbs. Stubbs following his blocker. Then he gets spun around. He's got the couple yards up to the 32, I believe. They're going to say up to the 33, so a 3-yard rush. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, patient running there. He was running behind his big offensive line there, but I mean, that's one of the better plays we've seen out of Hurricane in this third quarter.
So clock continues to run. It's down to 12 seconds in the third quarter. It looks like they're not going to run another play, and that will be the end of the third quarter. So at the end of 3 quarters, it's Skyview 27, Hurricane 3. We'll take a 1-minute break and be back right after this.
This is Judd with ARS Flood and Fire Cleanup. It's late at night, the weekend or a holiday. You've just discovered your basement is flooded. Where are you going to find help right now? At ARS, we can take your call 24 hours a day, and when these disasters happen, we can have a flood team to your home within 30 minutes. We are also the insurance claim experts. When disaster overwhelms you, let ARS restore your peace of mind. Call 753-9600 or go to our website at arscleanup.com.
At Cache Valley Auto Care, you'll find all the expertise you need to take care of your car, from advanced diagnostics and major repairs to oil changes, tires, brakes, and maintenance. You can count on Cache Valley Auto Care to tell you what needs fixing now and what stuff can wait. So whether your check engine light just went on or it's time for an oil change, now is the time to head over to Cache Valley Auto Care. Because when your car isn't working right, you just need someone who can help make your life a little easier. Cache Valley Auto Care, behind Home Depot on 200 East, 1175 North.
27-3, Skyview with a lead here in the fourth quarter. The start of the fourth quarter, a 3rd down and 7 at their own 33 for Hurricane. To start the fourth quarter, Ashby is in shotgun. John Newbold, Rex Davis here with you. Dallin back in studio keeping us on the air. We appreciate him. Back to passes Ashby. Now he breaks down and runs. He's still on his feet, and he's knocked down. He was rolling out to the right, then he ran back to the left, and then he's clobbered out there. But the quarterback keeper will be shy of the first down. He only gained 2. It should be 4th and 5.
Well, we'll see what the Skyview offense does now, right? See where Davis Hall lines up for the punt return, and this is not good for Hurricane. They have another player down, and this is big, number 72. That's Tanu Maepea, the offensive lineman for Hurricane. And he's just, I mean, you name an impact player for Hurricane, and they have gone down in this game. Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning. You can now schedule your service. Call on advancedheating-ac.com. Looking for a new gas fireplace? Advanced Fireplace and Stove in Logan has what you need. Call 752-7272.
So again, Skyview with the lead 27-3. They'll face the winner of Dixie and Bear River, and the last score we had was Dixie 48, Bear River 20 with 1:26 left, Rex. So Dixie's probably moving on, which is no surprise. They are the 4 seed against the 13 seed. Bear River hadn't won a game all season. A tough year for the Bears as they'll finish 0 and let's see, they didn't play a game, so 0-10. They'll be 0-10 because they didn't finish a game, or play a game during fall break. So Davis Hall is lining up to return the punt at the 35 on the south here.
I've been trying to find the punter on the roster, too. The closest number is Kai Kaba, but...
So he gets the snap, he punts it away, and it's a short one that bounces at the 40 and takes a sideways bounce, goes out of bounds. Yeah, we don't have a 35. He's definitely wearing 35, and we don't have a 35 on the roster that we were given. And it doesn't sound like Coach Phillips, the PA announcer, has him on his roster as well. So
yeah, I don't think either one of us has him.
So 11:26 here in the game. First round of the 4A state playoffs. Skyview will start at their own 37.
Austin Hansen checking in at wide receiver for the Bobcats.
Zollinger still in the game for the Bobcats. So 1st and 10 from their own 33. I think it was Moser that came in the backfield with Zollinger. Now they look to the sideline, have to shield their eyes because they're looking right into the sun as it gets lower and lower here on the field. Gorgeous afternoon for football, though. Zollinger's going to hand it off up the middle. Not a lot there, but he stretches forward near the 40-yard line. Depending on the spot, they're going to mark him at the 39. So 2-yard run on first down for Moser.
And that's one thing you like about Moser. Even though they make contact with him, he still falls forward. Skyview's definitely going to try to eat up some clock on this drive.
So clock under 11 minutes left in the game. Zollinger on second down throws it. It's complete to the 40. A wide receiver screen up to the 45 and across to midfield or right there. That's Austin Hansen.
Yeah.
You talked about it. The senior came into the game. You said he checked in and he got the little wide receiver screen there, and he's up to midfield to the 49.
I love that when a senior gets to check in and just instantly make a play like that.
That was a 10-yard play to the 49-yard line on a pass to Hansen. So 1st and 10 Bobcats. They pitch it out there to Moser on the right side. He makes a jump cut. He's across in the midfield, and he's near the marker for a first down to the 41 of Hurricane. I think they're going to give it to him.
I think they are too.
So he needed 10 yards, and he got it. Nice jump cut there by Moser in the backfield on that pitch play.
Going back to Austin Hansen checking into the game and catching that screen pass, to me that's a testament of the kid, how hard he works, right? Because you're a senior, you haven't got a ton of time, but you have clearly put in the work, and coach wants to reward you with a screen pass like that.
Well, and when you have the opportunity to get out there, he made it count.
Exactly.
So 1st and 10, Moser the other way on a handoff. He's got some room. He's tackled, tripped up from behind from the 41 to the 35, 6 yards on that carry for Moser.
I wonder, too, when we may end up seeing Brevin Egbert start to mix in at tailback. They are bringing Moser out, but that's going to bring Reed Wild in.
So 2nd down and
27, Hiram Hoops, the senior, checking in a wide receiver now.
2nd and 4 for the Bobcats from the Hurricane 35. Zollinger barks out the play and now looks to the sideline. Now he's under center. But that was just a talk to the offensive line. Now he backs back out. 2 receivers to the left, the short side of the field, 1 to the right, all on an island. Out there, Zollinger's going to throw left. It's complete, and they get up near the 30-yard line. Was that just who came in?
Yeah, that's Hiram Hoops, the senior.
Yeah,
it's same thing that we're saying about Austin Hansen. I mean, check in, you get a ball thrown your way right away. Testament to how hard these kids work.
So 4-yard pass play for the first down. They only needed 4 yards, and they got it to Hoops. So Hoops and Hansen both have gotten first downs for the Bobcats. 1st and 10 from the 30 now. Clock continues to run. 8:42 on the clock. 27-3 Skyview. As Rex mentioned, they're just running clock now, trying to advance with the victory into the second round. Zollinger hands it off up the middle. Wild kind of dances around and gets up to the 27-yard line, a 3-yard carry.
Yeah, and that's just going to keep the clock ticking, keep eating up some time. This is a great drive for Skyview. This is the kind of drives, and here does come Brevin Egbert in at running back, but these are the kind of drives that you want to see from your team. This is a real testament of, can you close a game?
Yeah, the sophomore in there, Brevin Egbert, had some carries earlier in the season, and when he did come in, they were some quality carries that he had. 2nd down and 7 for the Bobcats. Zollinger's going to take it, hand off to Egbert, and he's tackled in the backfield. Big number 64 is in there. That's Isaac Irema, the sophomore defensive lineman, as they go backwards that time, the Bobcats do, all the way back to the 29.
Yeah, just real quick to touch on what you said about Egbert. I mean, he was putting in work, right, to start the season. I mean, he was working hard. But when Truman Moser came back, Egbert's role kind of diminished a little bit. And, I mean, that's just the difference between a senior and a sophomore, too. I mean, Moser has that pedigree.
Yep, 3 receivers to the wide side of the field on 3rd and long. Zollinger looking. He throws over the middle, complete to Davis Hall for the first down near the 16. He's got stuck in another Hurricane defender. The tackler goes down as soon as he hits Davis Hall. He's down, but the ball is at the 16 for the first down. It was back, I think, at the 29, so a 13-yard pass play for a first down.
Man, Hurricane just cannot catch a break. Another defender down. It was right on the hit, too. Davis Hall goes up and high points that ball, comes down, and the second his feet touch the ground, the Hurricane defender hits him, and he's holding his shoulder now.
Napa Auto Parts, from Preston to Providence. There are 5 locally owned Napa Auto Part locations in Cache Valley. Napa Auto Parts sponsors high school football here on The Fan, and they also sponsor the best part of the game that we will talk about after the game. And the way it looks, the best part of the game is going to be the fact that it was a victory for the Bobcats, I think.
Yeah.
7:05 left in the game. It's 27-3. Skyview leads. He's still down on the ground, so we're going to step aside. We'll come back with the 1st and 10 for the Bobcats right after this.
When it's important to make an impression, call on the Logo Shop. They specialize in designing and customizing your logo onto t-shirts, golf shirts, jackets, and hats. Your logo will look great on name brand apparel from Nike, Travis Mathew, OGIO, North Face, Under Armour, and Carhartt. The Logo Shop can put your logo on literally thousands of items: pens, water bottles, mugs, travel accessories, outdoor gear like Yeti coolers. Call on the Logo Shop and check out the possibilities.
The Logo Shop, the logo stuff, the Logo Shop. You ready? Let's go.
7:05 left in the game. 27-3 Skyview with a commanding lead here in the 4th quarter. As the Skyview Bobcats, they had a lot of penalties in the first half. They've cleaned that up for the most part here in the second half, and that's how they've extended their lead. John Newbold, Rex Davis here with you from Smithfield, and the winner of this game will face Dixie, as Dixie was ahead big. We didn't get a final on that game, but they were up 20 points with only a few minutes left.
I'm sure those Bear River commentators are giving us the score updates. We're like, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
I think they probably just wanted to get out. And we still got the defender is still down for Hurricane.
Okay, now one other score update is Crimson Cliffs. Mountain Crest is at Crimson Cliffs, Rex, and that game started at 6. All the other games were 4 o'clock. And it looks like Crimson Cliffs has an early lead of 7-0 on the Mustangs. They're both Mustangs. I just thought of that. It takes me a while. Crimson Cliffs.
Never would have realized that.
The Mustangs from Hiram trail 7-0 in that game. Trying to go through here. Final score. Okay, we do have a final score. Dixie 48-20. So Dixie will host, which looks like the Skyview Bobcats, but there's still 7 minutes left, so I'm not going to call it. But with 7:05 left, it looks like Skyview will move on to face Dixie. And if that happens, like we mentioned, Rex, that game will be next week, next Friday, the 29th. We believe that game will be around 4 o'clock, but we're not
that's
sure.
What they're shooting for, and I think that would be ideal for kind of everyone involved, but we'll see if it ends up shaking out that way. It does look like the player is getting up now. It was number 15, Trenton Timpson, senior defensive back there for Hurricane.
Well, I hope you were right, Rex, when you said they were kind of looking at his shoulder and it wasn't his head, because it was right on the tackle. Davis Hall went over the middle, caught the ball, and he was, as soon as he caught it, the safety came in there. Timpson made the tackle, but you were saying they were kind of looking at his shoulder.
They're not going to have anybody left. I mean, they're running out of players.
Yeah, I mean, Carter Ashby, their starting quarterback, got hurt earlier in the season and just came back today. So we're finally ready for play. Clock starts. It's under 7 minutes to go in the game. Zollinger hands off to Egbert, right side. He's got some room, puts down the foot, pulls his way forward, drags a couple of defenders. What a run for Egbert, the sophomore, as the line of scrimmage was the 16-yard line, and he got near the first down. We're going to give him 9.
Yeah, we'll give a shout-out, too, to the offensive line, Caden Matthews, Izzy Torres, Shez Hulse, Porter Jackson, and Connor Dean.
Yeah, 2nd and 1. They hand it off left side. Egbert trying to reach for the first down. I don't think he got it. He may have gotten the yard for the first down. And when you mentioned that, a couple of Bobcats still out with injuries. DeHeck is part of that offensive line, and also
Bishop. Blake Bishop. I mean, yeah, the Skyview's not at full strength either.
Yeah, they're holding them out. So excuse me,
with the keeper.
For the first down, it was 3rd and 1. He was at the 6th, and he got the first down. I can't even tell where is that, the 4.
I honestly, John, I'm having the same issue trying to figure out where the ball is. It looks like the 4 to me.
I'm calling it the 4. So a 2-yard gain down to the 4. It'll be 1st and goal Bobcats. 12th play of the drive that started at their own 37. Zollinger in shotgun, clock under 6 minutes to go. They pitch it out to Egbert. He's trying to get the edge on the right side, and he's cracked. Knocked down at the 3-yard line, gain of 1. I think from the 4 to the 3. Be 2nd and goal at the 3. Well, if Coach Phillips is right, he said 2 yards.
They have a better view.
They have a better view.
If we're being honest.
So I'm saying it's a 2-yard gain for Egbert. Well, is it your birthday, Rex?
I wish.
Because the cheerleaders were singing. I thought they were singing to you. 27-3, 5:15 on the clock. Hand off to Egbert. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Skyview. From 3 yards out, I think.
Yeah.
So a 3-yard TD for Egbert, the sophomore, and with that score, I think that will pretty much be the end if Skyview does get the ball back for Zollinger and the starters. 5:12 on the clock, 33-3 Skyview, pending the extra point by Erickson. Well, it took longer than maybe Skyview wanted to, Rex, but they controlled the second half and they lead.
Absolutely,
and this extra point is good by Erickson. So 34-3 with 5:12 on the game clock. We'll take a 30-second break and be back right after this.
This is the season to stock up on oil and filters. It's the Fall Napa Gold Filter Sale at all 5 Cache Valley Napa Auto Parts stores. Napa Synthetic Blend Oil, $1.99 a quart. Seafoam Fuel Additive, $5.99 a can. Napa 15W40, $9.99 a gallon. Chevron Delo 15W40, $11.99 a gallon. These specials and a whole lot more during the Napa Gold Filter Sale, now through September 15th at your 5 locally owned Preston to Providence Napa Auto Parts stores.
Napa know-how. Napa know-how. Open up the champagne, pop. It's my house, come on, turn it up. Hear a knock on the door and the night begins.
34-3, Skyview with the lead over Hurricane in the first round of the 4A state playoffs. 5:12 left in the game as Erickson gets ready to boot one into the end zone again. I wonder if he'll let him return it.
No.
He's so greedy.
No.
So selfish. Just wants to kick it into the end zone again.
I want to know who has the most touchbacks in state history. You think that's a stat that anyone keeps track of, is touchbacks?
I'd have to talk to George Felt. That's where I get my information. The guy's an encyclopedia of Utah high school football.
That would be fun to know what kicker has the most touchbacks kicked.
The problem is then we'd have to go back through and try to find all of Erickson's, and I don't know if
I'm not saying I want to do it. I'm just saying, like, has someone logged those?
No, nobody logs that. We just know.
Come on.
Well, they maybe. Actually, probably coaches do. All right, so 1st and 10 for the Tigers. 34-3, Skyview with the lead. Ashby on 1st and 10. He's going to hand it off around the left side. Big run up to the 30, and he gets across before he's tripped up. That's Stubbs. A good run for Stubbs of 13 yards to the 33 and a first down.
Yeah, and Stubbs is only a sophomore, too. Like, this kid has a lot of growing to do, a lot of learning to do, but he looks good out there for Hurricane.
Like we mentioned, besides the injury bug for the Tigers, they had a first-year coach last year who left the program, and then it's a new coach this year. They just don't have any continuity. They're really young, and they've been banged up all season long. And they've only got 2 victories to show for it. Handoff to Stubbs again on 1st and 10, and this time he's twisted around and taken down at the 35-yard line, a 2-yard gain on that first down play.
I was trying to see who got the tackle. It looks like it was Squish, as well as number 10, Brevin Egbert. And when we say Squish, we mean Dylan Evans.
Yeah, Squish, a nickname that I think, Rex, that you found out about.
I was talking to some players down there, and they're like, oh, you mean Squish? And I was like, what do you mean Squish? And they're like, that's what he goes by. And I'm like, does he go by that? And they're like, yeah, he calls himself Squish. So
Squish with the tackle and Egbert. They hand it off to a new running back there, and he's knocked out of bounds on 2nd and 8.
That's
from the 35.
Levi Grondel.
Yeah, he's a big, tall wide receiver as well, and he gets knocked down at the 41. So from the 35 to the 41, a 6-yard gain. It's going to be 3rd and 2 for the Tigers. We've got a couple of scores coming in. I think a couple finals. We already gave you the final for Dixie. Logan has defeated Cedar 46-24. So Logan will move on, and Logan will play Ridgeline in Millville. Good luck.
Yeah, have fun with that, Logan.
3rd and 2 from the 41. Under center is Ashby. He's going to turn around, hand it off. Skyview had him in the backfield, but he breaks free to the 50, the 45, the 40, pushing Skyview defenders aside, and that was big number 7 again. That was Levi Grondel, the senior running back, gets all the way to the Skyview 39. Great run of 20 yards on that first down run.
This Skyview defense needs to stiffen back up now too, though. I mean, I know we're checking in a lot of new kids and stuff out there, but they got to stiffen up too. Their Hurricane seems to be kind of doing what they want on this drive, even though the clock obviously is their enemy.
Well, Logan will be traveling to Millville, and they've been without star Matthew Mason. Oh, a snap over the head on first down of their quarterback. They go back and pick it up. That's Stubbs, and he battles his way forward. That ball went all the way across the 50 into Tiger territory, but then somehow Stubbs picks it up and gets back into Skyview territory. But it will be a big loss from the 39 to the 49 of 10 yards.
And if you're right on cue, though, right? Like, Skyview has to make a stop. They have to make a play. And Hurricane just kind of did it for him with the high snap.
So 34-3, 2:51 left in the game. And like we mentioned, Matthew Mason, who plays running back for Logan, got dinged up in the Mountain Crest game. And if he's back, he brings another dimension. But Ridgeline, they're the number 2 seed overall, undefeated record-wise. They've just been so dominant.
They're too good. Ridgeline's just too good.
So that game will be next Friday. That will be on 104.5 The Ranch next week with Dave Simmons and Nick Zollinger. Pass complete to right. Makes a move, but he is hung on to and tackled. Great tackle there. Was that Michael Ferguson?
Yeah, Michael Ferguson was in coverage there.
That was good job because Wright got past him, but he grabbed his ankles and just hung on there. So it's a short gain, really, of 6 yards. It looked like it could have been more, but good job by Michael Ferguson. So I'll bring up 3rd and long. The ball is at the Skyview 43. Clock continues to run to 1:50. 34-3 Skyview. They'll move on to face Dixie next week in St. George. Down by the campus of SUU, where Skyview won their 2nd state championship. And another snap goes over Ashby's head. It's clear back to the 39. Ashby picks it up, trying to make something out of nothing, and he can't. 3rd and long, and it becomes 4th and longer as it's all the way back. And please say Ashby's okay, as he was slow to get up.
He got back up.
Good. So he's back at the 34. That loss, I'm not going to add it up. Big loss. It's 4th and long.
Big loss.
It's a big loss. 2 snaps. I mean,
John gets paid for this. That's big loss.
That's a big loss. I can't add that quick. We've
I-
already
you know what's
determined that.
funny
We already
is-
went through the academic all-state, guys.
I'm sitting here making fun of you, and like, if you even had me ballpark it, I couldn't.
And the snap is back. Get the punter. Heck of a job there.
Wow.
Skyview had the rush on. They looked like they were going to tackle him, but he just made a couple steps to the left, got that punt off, and it's one of his best ones of the day. He flips the field.
There is no punter listed on this roster and no 35 listed on this roster. The closest is 34, which is Kai Kaba, but
we want to give him credit.
Yeah, that was a great play.
It was a very good play. So Skyview will take over 1st and 10 at their own 28 with 48 seconds. So they are in shotgun.
Thatcher's in.
Thatcher's the new quarterback back there. He's going to hand it off.
That's Sam Porter.
Sam Porter gets to the outside, gets across the 28 to the 31. A 3-yard gain on 1st down.
Sam's young, too. He's going to learn at the point of contact and not be straight up, too. He's only a sophomore running back, but at the point of contact, he was standing straight up there, and he, more carries he gets, he's gonna keep working on getting down low at the point of contact.
So the clock continues to run at 20 seconds. I don't think that Skyview has to snap another play here. I'm still looking for the back judge. He hasn't started counting. Well, maybe they'll have to because they line up for one more.
They might, too, just to get
5
Sam
seconds,
another
4
carry.
seconds, 3, 2, 1. That's going to do it. They don't need to. They run the play. They let them run it. The clock had run. The clock hit zeros, but they let them run the play. Another 3-yard play.
Oh, man, there's a pink smoke bomb going off now.
Well, so as the game ends, another 3-yard rush, but wow, that is a distinct smell as well. Wow. I think I ate some of that powder. So thank you, student section. 34-3 is the final. We're going to step aside, try to catch our breath. But 34-3, Skyview moves on. We'll be back right after this.
Jessup Insurance and Retirement Services. Let us guide you.
Do you have retirement questions about financial planning and investing, Medicare, estate planning, or complex tax strategies? Jessup Insurance can answer those questions. Let Jessup Insurance guide you into a better retirement. Call Jessup Insurance 435-213-3200 or Google Jessup Insurance.
Jessup Insurance and Retirement Services. Let us guide you.
Sack lunch, picnic lunch, business lunch. There's nothing better or more satisfying than the lunch special at Old Grist Mill. It's lunch the way Mother Nature intended. All natural bread, the perfect amount of meat, veggies to your liking. And then it only gets better with your choice of a fresh-baked cookie, chips, and drink. You know what we're talking about, that famous Old Grist Mill lunch special. Get your made-to-order special at the South Logan, and now Smithville locations. Old Grist Mill, here for you.
Your business has weathered the storms of change. Your employees have adapted to work from, well, anywhere. And you deserve an office technology partner that helps make your hybrid office the very best it can be. You deserve the latest laptops and desktops, the very best printers and copiers, the most robust network. You've gotten back to business. Now get back to greatness with Les Olson Company. Find out more at lesolson.com.
Les Olson Company.
If you're in the market for exterior building supplies, you should always go with a company you trust. Coldwater Stone in Tremonton, a division of Castellite in Logan, is a company you can trust. Coldwater Stone specializes in cutting and shaping beautiful natural stone into thin veneers that can be used on wall surfaces, walkways, and more. Coldwater Stone in Tremonton has quickly become the industry leader for natural stone products. Stop into the Tremonton facility or see samples at Castellite in Logan. More information at www.coldwaterstone.com.
Coldwater Stone, a natural choice for all your stone needs.
Your Cache and Box Elder County McDonald's are proud to support local high school athletics and wish all the local teams the best of luck this season. Your local McDonald's is hiring. Work for McDonald's and let McDonald's work for you. Enjoy flexible hours, tuition reimbursement for continuing education, plus meals and other perks. Management positions are available. Apply at careers.mcdonalds.com today. That's careers.mcdonalds.com. Or apply in person. McDonald's and its franchisees are equal opportunity employers committed to a diverse and inclusive workforce.
It's back to school time. You're getting the clothes and the supplies, but don't forget the haircut. The students at New Horizons Beauty College are trained in all the latest trends and techniques. Plus, New Horizons has great prices on the products to help you maintain that new look, like Redken, Matrix, Biolage, and Bricado. All services performed by students and closely supervised by licensed instructors. Oh, hey, they're also enrolling for fall classes right now. Create your own individuality at New Horizons Beauty College in Logan.
The Karen Nielsen Guild Mortgage Team will help you find the loan to fit your life. Guild Mortgage offers hundreds of loan products for a wide variety of borrowers, including first-time home buyers, military families, and rural residents. Guild Mortgage also offers many state, county, and city housing programs that provide down payment assistance. At Guild, they work hard to deliver what matters most to you with a loan that fits your life. Call 435-294-2480 or Google Karen at Guild Mortgage, NMLS 3274 and 80226, Equal Housing Lender.
Thank you for voting Adams Wealth Advisors the gold winner for Best Financial Planner in the Best of Northern Utah competition. Understanding your family, jobs, and goals is how Adams Wealth Advisors will continue to earn your trust.
This is Craig Adams. At Adams Wealth Advisors, we are here to help you receive peace of mind whether you've done a lot of planning or a little planning. Count on our team at Adams Wealth Advisors for honesty, professionalism, and integrity.
Visit adamswealthadvisors.com or call 752-1702 to schedule a time with an advisor today. Please see adamswealthadvisors.com for more information on these recent awards.
Great bass and graphics. We made you look for quality screen printing, embroidery and design. What's important to you is important to us. We love what we do and it shows every time. Great bass and graphics. We made you look, made you look.
This is Judd with ARS Flood and Fire Cleanup. It's late at night, the weekend, or a holiday. You've just discovered your basement is flooded. Where are you going to find help right now? At ARS, we can take your call 24 hours a day, and when these disasters happen, we can have a flood team to your home within 30 minutes. We are also the insurance claim experts. When disaster overwhelms you, let ARS restore your peace of mind. Call 753-9600 or go to our website at arscleanup.com.
Welcome back to Skyview High School. The Skyview Bobcats get the 34-3 victory in the first round of the 4A state playoffs over the Hurricane Tigers, and the Bobcats will move on to face the Dixie Flyers down in St. George next week. That game will have it, but we're just not sure the time yet. It'll be an afternoon game. I think Skyview wants to have it around 3 or 4, but Ryan Grunig, the athletic director, will talk to the athletic director down there, and they'll decide on a time. Again, John Newbold, Rex Davis here with you. Back in studio, Dallin keeping us on the air. We appreciate all his help. And Rex, it was an ugly first half for the Bobcats. I believe the score was 10-3 at the half.
Yeah.
And Skyview had they had first downs in the first half. They really controlled the game, but they had 80 yards of penalties that really caused problems for them, and they really put down the screws and got the things done that they needed to get the victory here in the second half.
Yeah, and in that first half, what stuck out was the penalties. I mean, they gave up over 80 yards by our count to the Hurricane offense and made that thing look like it was even a ball game. I think the final score reflects a little better how the game actually went. But man, give Hurricane some credit though, because they fought injuries. They had the injury bug, and they still fought, still came out here and really pushed Skyview. And I think it was a good test for Skyview in that first half.
Well, Skyview got back to the winning ways after the loss last week in the fall break to Bountiful. And we're joined here on the post-game show with a player and also coach. So we're
got Truman Moser back with us.
So we'll go ahead and give him the mic. Let's make sure it's turned up all the way here. Okay, Truman, just hold that close to your face there. But Truman, you guys got the victory. What did you talk about in the second half that because the first half was a little ugly for you guys, but the second half was a lot better, more crisp. What did you do? What did you talk about at halftime?
You know, we kind of focused on how, as seniors, this is the last time we're going to be on this field if Dixie won.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, mostly we just focus on what we've been focused on all year. I mean, we always come out slow, it kind of seems like, but we need to pick it up, and hopefully we'll get it going more in the first half.
Well, Truman, you're such a huge part of the rushing game, and at the start of the season, unfortunately, you were battling an injury that you suffered in the offseason, and you had to work your way back. What was that like to stand there on the sideline and see the rushing kind of struggle and not be so consistent while you were rehabbing that injury?
It was frustrating. I mostly blame myself because the injury was on me in
the
ski season, but, man, it just drove me more to try to get back sooner and get playing again.
Well, with the ski season, was it snowboarding?
No, it was skiing.
Okay, it was skiing. Did you land the jump, though?
Not really.
Oh, shoot. Just kidding. So, Truman, talk about this game. With the rushing, their linebackers did a good job in the first half of really reading what you guys were doing offensively. What kind of changes did you guys talk about for you and Reed Wild there in the second half?
So we kind of talked about how hard they flow, and so we started throwing in some fly motions and stuff to kind of get their eyes off of us. And it helped for the most part, but then our line really picked it up and opening up those holes, so that helped a lot.
Well, is running back a position that you've always played your whole life in football, or is that something you switched to once you got to the high school level? Or?
I switched to it in the high school level. I actually played tackle all of Little League.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Now it explains.
Yeah.
Well, it explains why you're so good at bulldozing over those defenders. There's so many times that when you get in, like Reed just seems to make some shifty moves. Not that you don't have them, but, man, you really put the helmet down and shoulder pads down and really rock some people. How much fun is it to, even though you're on offense, we know you play defense and you like to hit, but on offense, you really lower the boom.
It's so much fun. I just love hitting people.
Yeah,
to be honest.
It seems like you fall forward. Like it's a great trait to have as a running back that falls forward.
Yeah.
So it's fun to watch you, man.
Thank you.
Well, Truman, again, you guys get the victory. You hold them to 3 points, and this was a Hurricane team that talking to Coach, we knew that their quarterback, Ashby, coming off his injury, that he had a lot of speed. How did you guys contain him defensively and keep him in the pocket?
So all week we expected, we practiced for him. We didn't know if he was going to play or not, but we practiced for him. And we just kind of focused on getting close to your work, taking the extra steps, getting your body on him. So,
well, it was a great job defensively. You hold them to 3 points, and really those 3 points only came because you got the penalties. You got them down the field. But was after the Bountiful loss, to get that taste out of your mouth, how good did it feel to get this victory on senior night?
It felt so good. Senior night on our home field, there's nothing better, and especially knowing that we're going to have another week of football.
Yeah, another week, and because you didn't know, Dixie did win. They beat Bear River by 26, I think, so you guys will be traveling down there. How do you keep this momentum going? I mean, you've been involved in this program for a few years, and you guys have had so much success, a couple state championships. How do you take that mentality and move forward one game at a time through this tournament?
We've been to the top before, so I feel like I know what it takes to get there, and that means focusing on the week at hand. If you get looking ahead, then you're going to let the week pass you by and not play your best.
Well, Truman, we'll let you give a shout-out to whoever you'd like to before we let you go here.
Probably my parents and Barry Hill, therapist. He's the one who helped me got back. So.
Well, congratulations, and thanks for taking some time to come up and talk with us.
Thanks, Truman.
So, again, the Bobcats victorious 34-3, and now we'll be joined with Coach Hal. And, Coach, that first half, it didn't go. You wanted to get off to a fast start. It didn't go the way you guys wanted, but you really nailed it down at halftime and had a successful second half.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I felt like defensively we played really good the first half, minus, the 2 PI calls. And, I think they're judgment calls. I felt like in the one we were in good position, but he called it, so it was PI. We just talked to our guys a little bit about making a little adjustment on that. But I thought, we did a really good job taking 5 away. He was a non-factor. We talked about that pregame, and we definitely did that. And so, I was really proud of the way we played defensively in the first half. Offensively, for whatever reason, I thought we moved the ball pretty well at times, and then we'd have a penalty or something that would back us up. But that's been a little bit of the story of our year. And we just, we talked this week about, in the playoffs, you don't get any do-overs. And so we've got to lock in and execute better for 4 quarters, not for 2. And hopefully we'll do that and continue to grow as a team. And the good thing is we played well enough to get one more opportunity to play next week.
Well, Coach, I know in the pregame you talked about how you wanted to not only start out strong, but you talked, or from what you said, you preached about being more physical this game. And I feel like we saw it. They did call the penalties on some of them, but you guys were more physical tonight than we've seen in a while.
Yeah, and so if you preach physicality and running to the ball and all those things, you have to be willing to live with some of those penalties.
Sure.
Of guys playing hard. So I was proud of our effort that way. We have to continue to get better on defense because we know the experiences that we've had over the last couple of years. We know that if we expect to get where we want, we have to play consistent, good defense, and so we'll continue to push them to get better for sure.
Well, Coach, your focus will now shift to Dixie because they did defeat the Bears 46-20. I think was the final that we got, and so you'll be heading down south next Friday, but. This time of year, it's the playoffs, and Truman said it, hey, we got one more game to play, and you just mentioned it too. I mean, it's got to be good as a coaching staff to see your kids succeed.
Yeah, absolutely. This is, I mentioned this to you pregame. We played a brutal preseason or off-season non-conference schedule, and this is where we want that to pay off. We played some ginormous teams. And our kids had to battle and fight and scrap. And as I mentioned, we lost some, we won some. But that's what all of that was for, is for this situation now. There's not going to be anybody that we play now that's going to be some of the teams that we've played in the past. And so we know we can compete with anybody now. We know we have a great chance. It's just all about our ability to be consistent, to play with great effort, and to eliminate some of those mistakes that we can control.
Well, Coach, one last thing, just to comment about you guys had the ability with this home game to do a senior night and honor those seniors and their parents. And, I mean, it was an awesome sight to have that.
Yeah, it was crazy. I knew we had 24 kids plus our 2 managers, but it seemed like every time I looked down that line, it just kept getting longer.
It was.
And that's, that's a testament to the strength of our program. Not just, it's not about me or anything like that, but I'm saying the coaches that have been here in the past, what this program's established, to have kids knowing that, hey, there's a good chance that I'm not going to get to play a lot, but I still want to be a part of it because it's still a good experience and it's still important. And so for those guys that don't get to play as much as some of our guys, I'm really proud of them, and so thankful that they stayed a part of us, and we tried to get them all some contributions tonight. I was super happy for Austin Hansen and Hiram Hoops that both got catches tonight. Those guys do a fantastic job being a part of our scout teams every week, and they both got touches, and it was fun to see that because those kids are 2 great kids who I love to death. Never complain, just go through the week every week like they're going to be starters, and so I'm really proud of those types of kids.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time, and hopefully the weather will cooperate up north so that you guys can have a good week of practice to face Dixie next week in St. George.
Yeah, we don't care. We're at this point. Bring it on. We'll be ready to go.
All right, Coach. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll
Thanks,
see
Coach.
You. So again, the Bobcats victorious 34-3 over the Hurricane Tigers. They'll face the Dixie Flyers next Friday. We'll have that game on The Fan and also on CashValleyDaily.com. So now we get to the point where we get to announce our McDonald's player of the game. Visit your local McDonald's for pickup and drive-through. And Rex, we're going to go for our player of the game. We're going to go with Jackson Sundstrom.
Yeah.
He set the tone early with that early touchdown and interception to start the game.
Right, and that first half could have really looked a lot different than it already did. It already didn't look right. It could have been a lot worse if it weren't for the play of Jackson Sundstrom. He had 2 interceptions in that first half. Only one of them counted, but he was playing free safety back there. Went over and got another one, but there was a pass interference call that negated that. But we felt like Jackson Sundstrom really kind of set the tone in that first half, kept the Bobcats competitive, and that's why he's our McDonald's player of the game.
So congratulations to him. Also, we're going to talk about the Napa Auto Parts best part of the game, and when it's the playoffs, I think the best part of the game has to be the fact that you play one more day.
Yeah.
You got the victory. That's the best part of the game for the Skyview Bobcats. They get the victory, and so they'll be playing Dixie next week.
Yeah, we appreciate Napa. They've been a great sponsor of high school football. Definitely not the best part of the game was that pink smoke bomb that went off at the end of that thing.
Who's the sponsor of that?
You had to.
Rex is the sponsor of the not-so-happy play. I tasted that. That was the worst taste I've had. Thank goodness for Ryan Grunig and his drinks that he provided that I could get that taste out of my mouth. The Old Grist Mill bread and butter play of the game. This is your opportunity to win 4 loaves of bread on the full court press from the Old Grist Mill. And listen to Eric Franson, Ajay Salveson on Monday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. And when they say, hey, call us and tell us what the bread and butter play of the game was, then you can win 4 loaves of bread, and it's going to be the 51-yard rush by Reed Wild. The back-to-back plays is what happened, is 51-yard rush down to the 3, and then the next play, 3-yard TD run by Reed Wild with 1:11 on the third quarter clock that gave Skyview the 27-3. But those back-to-back plays by Reed Wild from midfield down to the 3, I mean, Skyview got that possession, and just like that, boom, boom, 2 plays, and they're into the end zone. So that's your Old Grist Mill bread and butter play of the game. Reed Wild on the 51-yard rush and then the 3-yard TD right after that to give Skyview a 27-3 lead in the third quarter.
All right, we do have a few halftime stats, and they are brought to you by Cache Valley Auto Care. Read their online reviews and decide for yourself. They're located behind Home Depot at 1175 North, 200 East in Logan. Passing tonight for Zollinger, I have him down for 160 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Davis Hall, 11 rushing yards. Reed Wild, 123 yards rushing with a touchdown. Truman Moser, 80 yards rushing. He got to come up, and it was nice to talk with him, too. We've talked with Moser before. He's come up and talked with us before, so that was good to see him again. And then we had Brevin Egbert, 16 yards and a touchdown. Jackson Sundstrom, I wasn't able to keep track of defensive stats. I did have him down for his interception that he did get. Receiving the ball, the leading receiver was Davis Hall. That's usually pretty standard. He had 45 yards. There wasn't a ton of air raid offense today, but 45 for Davis Hall, 25 for Truman Moser, 22 for Cole Watterson, 23 for Reed Wild. Jackson Foster contributed with 29 yards receiving, and then our McDonald's player of the game, Jackson Sundstrom, with a 16-yard touchdown reception.
All right, so that's going to do it for tonight, and Skyview will be at Dixie next Friday. We assume it will be an afternoon game around 3 or 4. Stay tuned, and make sure you visit CacheValleyDaily.com because they'll post that when we find out when that game will be. Also of note, Crimson Cliffs leads the Mountain Crest Mustangs 13-0. 6:40 left in the first half, and as a programming note, make sure you stay locked in here to 106.9 The Fan, because right after we get off the air here, it's going to go right into the Aggie pregame show with Al Lewis, Craig Hislop, Eric Franson, all involved in that, I believe. So make sure you stay here on The Fan. The Aggies are hosting the Colorado State Rams in homecoming up on the hill as the Aggies take on the Rams at 7:30, and we'll have the pregame show. It's already going on, but they'll be going into it and you can catch that action. All that is coming up next on The Fan. So for Truman Moser, Coach Hal, for Rex Davis, and myself, John Newbold, have a great evening, everybody, and a great weekend. We'll see you next week.